welcome to all the beautiful, beautiful, lovely early birds. Let me make this Thursday feel more like a good old Friday. The fucking gay Yanagibashi walks in, whips out her massive schlong, and slams it on my forehead by giving me 2 subs. Thank you, Yanagibashi, one of the biggest OGs. 3 gift subs. Ain't nobody watching ads in this channel, thanks to Yanagibashi. By the way, Yana, what are your pronouns, by the way? Like, unironically. Been screening Yanagibashi for like 3 months now, and I don't even know your pronouns. And another gift sub by Yanagibashi. Holy shit, thank you very, very much. Yes, Yana, I did have a question. What are your pronouns? How am I supposed to refer to you? He. Okay, hell yeah. He. Deal. You have a signed contract now. If I break it, I get killed. Okay, jokes aside, we will be starting in around 3 minutes, ladies, gentlemen, and MBs. 3 minutes. Sit in your comfortable chairs, pour yourself a favorite beverage, and join me in going through all of the day's events. We will be looking at cringe, we will be looking at depressing matters, but most of it we will be laughing through. For today might be a Thursday, but I will make it feel like a Friday. 3 minutes and we start. Let me go take a massive piss. Yes, of course, you should get extra channel points, Stevie, for watching on company time. That is the only way you should ever watch any of this shit. Let's be fucking honest. Okay. I said 2-3 minutes, but it might be much quicker. Welcome, everybody. Today is a good old Thursday, the 20th of June. Between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. I will never tell you the exact time because I want to protect my identity. How are we doing? I love seeing all the OGs in chat, from Yanagibashi to Dippy to Ufigi. The fucking OG Stewie is here as well. Pseudo Sludge, welcome. Dr. Sleepy Fist, one of my favorite Pokemon. Starlight Sego, very good to see all you motherfuckers. Pamela 2000. I've had a very good day. I went to the gym to lower my body mass from like 95% fat down to 92% fat. It was relatively enjoyable, actually. Went to wash the car. Practical stuff, and finally finished my script. I will be recording right after the show ends and sending it to some good friends to edit. There is a strange thing going on, though. We are at 900 subs, but the sub goal says 890. That is number one. And number two, my least favorite app on planet Earth is doing strange things. Wait. Let me switch it to the right. Okay, there we go. I'll leave it to OBS to be the glitchiest of fucking apps of all time. Okay, yeah, I was postponing making this particular, finishing this script because I had some problems with the potential sponsor. The sponsor is great. I'm not giving them any shit except them being a corporation, obviously. But there was some delays on my end on what kind of shit I was supposed to cover in order to make the sponsorship work properly. The topic is going to be relatively interesting. It's a bit about rich socialists, basically about bourgeois class traders. I can't wait for you guys to see it once it's done. I have a new and very exciting team of editors that have kind of sprung up from this community in particular. So let's see where that goes. But anyways, hello to all you early motherfucking birds. It is very good to see you. Again, it is a Thursday, 20th of June. Nothing special today, just a bit of gym, a bit of car washing, a bit of a walk. It is still scorching hot outside. One of my old friends told me that he'll be visiting the country I'm in on Sunday. That doesn't mean that we won't have a lovely stream on Sunday, but I can't wait to pick him up off the airport and do some relatively degenerate shit. Thank you very much. Zin's left nut. We all love our left nut much more than our right nut because, let's be honest, all the bad ideas come from the right nut. Anyways, yeah, and I have a wedding on Saturday, so pretty wild. Speed met the Albanian Prime Minister live. Jesus Christ. Two of the most unhinged human beings on planet Earth meeting at the same time. I mean, isn't Speed an Albanian himself? And you do all oh my God, the Albanian Prime Minister wants to be a Zoomer so bad. He actually welcomed a streamer. I love this. This is why Albania will forever overtake the Balkans, man. The Albanians are a forward-thinking nation. While the rest of us talk about ancient feuds and shoot each other over who's, a guy from 1,000 years ago was correcter than the other guy from 1,000 years ago. The Albanians embrace the true supreme class of the future, what the fuck? You can't speak, you Gopnik, which, as we all know, is the streamer man.
God damn. You got one hell of a creative mind, man. To come up with architects like this. You know, I draw too, actually. That's why I'm really interested. I've been drawing since I was 10 years old. I used to take art classes, but I didn't take it.
You know that the Eddie Rama, that's his name, his fucking kids needed to explain for like 2 hours why it would be a great idea to meet with the Twitch streamer. And people say that streamers are not mainstream A-list celebrities. Show me somebody who's not an A-list celebrity meeting literal heads of state. Yes, a unimportant third world banana republic head of state, but still forward-thinking Albanians, man.
Get that serious because I wanted to get into football as an athlete, but I'm actually a good drawer too, man. And I can tell you actually have work in this. Yep, and it's in English too, so I can read it. Thank you so much. And you drew all of these.
He's just looking at him like, what the fuck am I doing here with my life? Come on, let Albanians have their moment in the sun. Yes. This is Albanians hosting iShow Speed has been the greatest economic and PR achievement of the Albanian nation in the last 50 years. iShow Speed is the most relevant person internationally that has come to Albania in the last century. Okay, I'm overdoing it. I am wearing my redneck dad shirt and my fucking merch. So I'm adapting to the Balkan redneck who is de facto extremely hateful and, let's be honest, jealous of my neighbors, who are very forward-thinking and are embracing the true future superclass of human beings, which is the streamer, okay? Really is the streamers not recognizing their power. It really is Rat Reaper, isn't it, man? Isn't it? We always, they always talk about how, they're not part of the mainstream current and how they're representatives of alternative media. But let me tell you, as a fellow Twitch streamer, the fire rises in our bellies as we recognize that we truly hold more power than all the CNNs and BBCs combined. For we hold an audience that they can never reach, and that is people who do not have sex and are under the age of 12. When it comes to their type of audience, I'm not pissing on you, Chad, except your lack of sex, which should like really increase. Please have more sex. Thank you. So use protection down, okay? Okay, I've used my quota of talking shit of my own chat for the day. Let us actually get into what we didn't manage to watch yesterday, and that is a good old Depression Now, depressionnow.com, with Amy Badman coming to you from the War and War Report. Let's get a bit of an update on what the hell is happening in the world and use it as a jumping off point. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 27 minutes ago, that is speed, right? Here on Ugopnik Twitch, you only get the shit right as it's coming, straight out of the oven. So, as always, with Depression Now, depressionnow.com, with Amy Badman from the War and War Report, we will probably witness mass murder and genocide, ethnic-based violence, financial support for mass murder and genocide, and violent police crackdowns in the developed world. Let us see if this bingo card actually passes. As always, welcome to Depression Now, depressionnow.com, with Amy Badman and the War and War Report.
Welcome to Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.
Why is it so hot in this room? Is it because Amy's hot as hell? Am I being a misogynist? Probably. Now I need to score all the points because, as we all know, I accidentally, I think, kind of almost said the N-word last stream. To all of you who are hearing this out of context, probably like, what the fuck? But yes, that happened yesterday. So when I woke up today, I'm opening my Twitch and I'm like, am I banned, or are people at Twitch normal human beings that are going to be like, okay, that was an obvious mistake? Apparently, they're normal human beings that saw that it's an honest mistake. So let's go right back to Amy Badman, June 20th, 2024.
The UN Human Rights Office has accused Israel of systematically violating the laws of war by using heavy...
Like, I did the biggest, so early in my Twitch career, I did the biggest L already, the biggest stream fail that you can ever do, which is accidentally saying that word. So from now on, it's only going up. It's only going up and up. Okay, now I'm overdoing it. It's only going up, and we'll be fine. Okay? Okay. Please don't ban me, Twitch. I love you.
Bombs to
and it was on Juneteenth as well, right, Yana? That was. Oh God, yeah, that was. That was weird timing. Okay, and I know in the greatest literature ever written, Assassin's Creed 2 in Venice, they say there is no such thing as coincidences. But I swear on my mother's grave, that was a coincidence. I didn't wake up and like, yo, I'm gonna make like an edgy thing where I say the N-word or Juneteenth, bro. Yeah, it's gonna be a thing. No, it was bad.
destroy civilian infrastructure and densely
Hugo is basically that grifting trad wife now, right? I saw her shit and how she was exploding, and I was like, holy fuck. I want to explode that way too, baby.
populated areas of Gaza.
No. Like Twitch TOS, please watch it. You'll see that I'm literally reading something else by accident that sounds like that word. I'm not afraid. I trust in Twitch's admins. Like nobody's that stupid to think that I actually intended on saying that word, which I absolutely never say.
Gaza. In a new report, the UN office examined 6 Israeli attacks that targeted residential buildings, a school, refugee camps, and a market. The UN verified at least 218 people died in those 6 attacks.
Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, thank you, DepressionNow, DepressionNow.com, even though you should not be blamed. The Zionist apartheid dog state should be, but hey.
While Navi Pillay, the chair of a separate UN inquiry into the war, testified before the UN Human Rights Council.
Israeli authorities are responsible for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and violations of international humanitarian and human rights law.
That was somebody did a count on Twitter. I'm not going to search it now. But this makes it the 67th or 68th officially recognized international institution which has defined the IDF's behavior, the IOF's behavior as genocidal.
Including extermination, intentionally directing attacks against civilians and civilian objects, murder, or willful killing, using starvation as a method of war, forcible transfer, gender persecution targeting Palestinian men and boys, sexual and gender-based violence amounting to torture, and cruel...
Where all the men's rights activists? Where all the proud men's rights activists? Because this is a good point. They very much so, even though they've killed thousands upon thousands of kids and women, they very much so use the argument that men are de facto Hamas and therefore all male targets that have been hit are the bad people, quote unquote, or Hamas eaters.
Or inhuman treatment.
During her testimony, the
Xoizu, an actual war on men and not a peep, right? It's as if they never gave a fuck. It's as if their ideology is based on oppression of women and not the uplifting or protection of actual men's rights, which are being trampled on in Gaza as we see. Jesus, my brain is a bit slow today. My brain, I'm having a little brain doo-doo right now. A brain poopy poop. It's like fizzling out a bit. I can genuinely feel that it's working at like 50%. So bear with me as we start up this old engine, okay?
UN's Navi Pillay also accused Hamas and Islamic Jihad of committing war crimes. The UN's findings are being shared with the international...
That's how it usually goes, but now it's like boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom.
Criminal court. This comes as the official death toll in Gaza has topped 37,400. On Wednesday, an Israeli airstrike killed 9 Palestinians as they waited for aid trucks at the Kerem Shalom crossing. At least 8 more Palestinians were killed in Rafah. Meanwhile, officials in Gaza say Israel's destroyed the Palestinian side of the Rafah border crossing, which connects Gaza to Egypt. The crossing has been closed since Israel seized the area in early May. The White House...
So even if crossing was to be attempted, there is no place on the Palestinian side where actual documentation and processing can happen. The reason you always destroy this, I literally studied this, the reason you always destroy the border crossing side of the enemy you're attempting to in this case, completely ethnically cleanse, is so that they can't count how many people are turned into refugees, right? Because you destroyed, so there's nobody there to actually write down, like 7,000 people just passed, so that they can't throw shit at you when it comes to, I mean, now it's funny to say, but when it comes to international law, that's fucking, yeah.
The House has canceled a high-level meeting with Israeli officials that was set for today after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu released a video Tuesday accusing the U.S. of withholding military aid to Israel.
Tyrone 23, hello from Ohio. Holy shit, we got Ohio in chat. Oh my God, man.
When Secretary Blinken was recently here in Israel, we had a candid conversation.
I thought that was like a fake place, man. I thought that was a fake place. You telling me that you're from Ohio? What's next? Somebody's gonna tell me they're from Australia, or any of the Baltic states like Estonia. Oh yeah, but yeah, you're from Ohio, yeah, and I'm fucking Lithuanian, whatever the fuck that is. Okay.
I said I deeply appreciated the support the U.S.
Please don't.
from the beginning of the war.
If you're from Ohio, please don't skibbity riz us or something. Don't toilet us with a skibbity. Thank you very much.
A new child soldier. Subscriber.
Thank you very much, Trunis, for the sub with Prime. Welcome, my beautiful child soldier. Be careful, you might get skibbity riz over here. We got an Ohioan, okay?
But I also said something else. I said it's inconceivable that in the past few months, the administration has been withholding weapons and ammunition to Israel. Israel, America's closest ally, fighting for its life, fighting against Iran and our other common enemies.
The White
for our life, we are fighting for our life. They're withholding our weapons. Then imagine the amount of damage you would be able to do with the full weapons that you're receiving. And by the way, don't trust any of this. This is so that the Dems can play this clip to their electorate and say, "Hey, look, we are withholding weapons. We're doing genocide light, right?" Thank you very much, Pangarizito, for the resub for the 4th month. Big G, thank you very much.
White House rejected Netanyahu's claim, pointing out President Biden has paused just one shipment of heavy bombs since the war began. 2 key Democratic lawmakers recently signed off on an $18 billion military package for Israel involving the sale of...
Don't vape, kids. Jesus fucking Christ, I feel like my literal intestines are leaving. By the way, on the 3-day birthday of my girlfriend's, I vomited once, not because of alcohol consumption, but because of this garbage. Because it gathers on the back of it, something that Siggy's never fucking did. I swear, I'm quitting this as well, man. Siggy's never did that. This shit, because it's in weird liquid form, it gathers around the back of your throat, and it makes it feel like you have food that's constantly caught on the back of your throat, which hits your gag reflex and you want to vomit. It's disgusting.
50 F-15 fighter jets. In other news from Israel, a top Israeli military spokesperson has admitted Hamas can't be destroyed, a claim that appears to contradict Netanyahu's...
Yet snooze. I would just look ridiculous with snooze in the Balkans. It would be fucking ridiculous.
Stated...
Zins. Yeah, I guess I could try Zins. Do they sell Zins here? Any Balkan person can tell me that I haven't seen Zins anywhere.
Aim of the war on Gaza. In an interview, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari said, quote, Hamas is an idea. Hamas is a party. It's rooted in the hearts of the people. Anyone who thinks we can eliminate Hamas is wrong, the IDF spokesperson said.
In your opinion, how long U.S. will be screaming democracy in Ukraine, Gaza, and the next Taiwan, Philippines war? Do you think it's going to be in Third World War and some nuclear fireball? I mean, not sure I get the context of the entire question, but they will be screaming democracy in any conflict zone towards to explain how their side is on the right side until those wars end, just like how they have in every single war that they've participated in. And they will never go back on saying that whatever they did was a mistake. And then eventually, ironically, those very same people that committed those atrocities when it comes to the leadership positions, will eventually be whitewashed the way George W. Bush is whitewashed right now. That's just the way empire functions, my friend. So yeah, they'll basically be screaming it until the wars end. And then they will pretend it never happened.
Tensions continuing to escalate between Israel and the Lebanese group Hezbollah. On Wednesday, Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah warned his forces could strike anywhere inside Israel. Nasrallah also threatened to target Cyprus if it allows Israel to use its air bases to attack Lebanon. His warning came a day after...
Jesus, Cyprus? Fucking Cyprus in here like that. What the... Whoa, 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 whoa. All like the Ukrainians and Russians that moved to Cyprus because they were escaping their own war be like, whoa, 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 whoa. Because Cyprus is full of them. Oh.
Israel's foreign minister, Israel Katz, threatened to...
Do you think people will get a gold parachute at the end of this? Yeah, probably. They need to make sure that any quote-unquote ally of theirs in the future doesn't see how they're throwing away their allies of the past in case things go bad. But the CIA is not at its peak the way it was back in the day. So if we use the example of the Brazilian president, he was kind of thrown away. So, you know, it can go both ways. But Bibi has been too much of a main character in the video game of empire building. So they will definitely need to introduce a DLC for his future. Oh my God! Advanced political analysis through video game lingo. Welcome to you, Gopnik Twitch.
To wage an all-out war against Hezbollah. Russian President Vladimir Putin has arrived in Vietnam after making his first visit to North Korea in 24 years. On Wednesday, Putin and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un...
Did you watch the video of Putin giving Kim Jong-un the fucking car? Putin, Kim... Please, no porn, please, in God's name. Look at this. Just two best buddies hanging around, driving the cars, preparing their nukes. Just two best buddies driving around, preparing their nukes, doing stuff. Just two big, goofy boys. Just two big, goofy boys. Look how happy he is. He's like, oh my God! Oh my God! And he's like, haha, I bought you a car. Hey, oh my God! Yes, Kim, shut the fuck up, I got your car. But oh my God, this car is so fucking nice, man. Nobody bought me a fucking car before. Yeah, commodities, right? You're against them, but you like this car, don't you? Yeah, words, indeed. I say many words.
Wonderful. A new
Bad Boy spin-off with Putin and Kim. Thank you very much, Backfeed Ghost. Yeah, Bad Boys. That Bad Boys. Dude, you don't know what you just did. Bad Boys song. Wait, is there a video? I have to make this. Come on, don't show porn, please, in the name of God. I just want them driving around. Is there one of them just driving? Putin, Kim, driving. Yes. This. Obviously, I'm not hyping up either of these two dudes, but that was Bad Boys song.
Bad boys, what you want, what you gonna do when Chevy John don't come for you? Tell me what you wanna do, yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you go to school and learn the golden rule. So why are you acting like a bloody fool? If you get hot, then you must get cool. Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do?
Does it work or does it work, baby?
You chuck it on that one, you chuck it on this one, you chuck it on your mother and you chuck it on your father, you chuck it on your brother and you chuck it on your sister, you chuck it on that one and you chuck it on me. Bad boys, what you gonna do?
It works well, right?
What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Why is it low-key synced? Because I'm doing it, baby. Because I'm doing it. Thanks to that wonderful chatter for the fucking idea. That was absolutely brilliant. Oh, for fucking hell. Hey.
Signed a mutual defense pact, Putin spoke in Pyongyang.
The Comprehensive Partnership Agreement.
Those DeAndre want to read something slightly on topic and amazing? Sure, send it my way. And also an ad is playing that I completely forgot to interject because I was thinking, bad boys. Bad Boys single-handedly was arguably like, why would a Balkan guy care about two black cops in the States, right? But single-handedly created the wrong image in every single Balkan guy's brain that American cops are based as fuck. Like I swear, up until I was like fucking 18, I thought American cops based as fuck because I watched Bad Boys, right? What the fuck is my mod sending me now? Toasty Android, what is this? Ride on King, what? What? It is a newly established nation, officially recognized as its own country just 15 years prior. This is the Republic of Prussia, located in a corner of Central Asia. Though their numbers were small, the Prussians' fierce valor earned them both awe and respect from the countries around them. The Prussians won their independence from a greater power through an armed revolution. The man who led them on the path of independence was none other than, and the leader, I'm bad at reading comments, so Alexander Putinov, President for life of the Republic of Prussia. Right on, King. Oh, he just rides on things. He's loves to ride things. He just flies in things, and he's like, yes, and I do karate, and we do things. This is better pro-Putin propaganda than he or his PR team could have ever imagined. Okay, I mean, look at this boy. He does look like he likes to ride some shit, man. Most hetero Russian. Oh, Why do you think, Russians be so homophobic? I mean, I know it's cringe to be like, all homophobic people are secretly gay, but Jesus Christ, it really applies to Russians, Russian homophobes at least.
Signed today includes, among other, mutual assistance.
Like, dude creates whole PR campaign to just look as as much of a sexy gay bear as possible, and then at the same time the dude is like, oh, gay's bad, while I am literally the definition of a hunky older daddy bear. Motherfuckers be sitting butt naked in a hot ass sauna, slapping each other with branches, right? That's all of that's their greatest idea of fun. Whenever I go hang out with my Russian bros or whatever, they literally like, let's sweat naked together and then lay, and then we get 3-4 big guys to walk inside with big fucking branches and beat the shit out of us while we moan in the room and sweat. And you're literally sitting with 3 like butt naked Russians as like 4 more enter the room, and it just sauna sweat, and you only hear and then you're trying to tell me that this nation is trying to be homophobic. Jesus Christ. This is Western propaganda. It is George Soros that has introduced homophobia to them. By the way, they very often they don't really use H. Instead of H, they say G. So it's not Hitler, it's Gitler, right? And it's not homophobia, it's gomophobia. But they don't say Jesus Christos, they say Jesus Christos. But for example, they have Gary Potter. Gary Potter, bro! Gary Potter!
The event of aggression against one of the parties to this agreement.
Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has attacked President Biden's move to shield from deportation.
We have saved the world from Hitler, and the Westerners are not too happy about us saving them from Hitler.
Some 500,000 undocumented immigrants who are married to U.S. citizens. Under the new rules, the spouses will be able to apply for work permits and permanent residency, giving them a pathway to citizenship. Trump has vowed to mass deport millions of immigrants if he's elected in November. The two candidates will hold to shield from deportation
against one of the parties to this agreement.
Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has attacked President Biden's move to shield from deportation some 500,000 undocumented immigrants who are married to U.S. citizens. Under the new rules, the spouses will be able
What was that great rap lyric? I can't be homophobic, my bitch is gay. Russians be like, I can't be homophobic, we call it gomophobia. I am gomophobic, okay? Okay? Never confuse me with a homophobe. How dare you call me a homophobe? I am a gomophobe.
to apply for work permits and permanent residency, giving them a pathway to citizenship. Trump has vowed to mass deport millions.
The motherfuckers going around driving in a Gonda, fighting against Hitler, protecting gomophobia. Oh, man.
Of immigrants if he's elected in November. The two candidates will hold their first debate on July 27th. We'll have more on Biden's immigration plan.
By the way, there's like 12 million undocumented people in USA. That blew my mind. Yes, and that they're very necessary. They're very necessary because of the declining rate of profit, and because a lot of jobs have been outsourced, and because people don't want to do many of these jobs. The United States knows very much so that a very large part of their economy is propped up on those 10 to maybe even 20 million undocumented Americans. It would not literally be able to work without those undocumented immigrants who, unfortunately, are then additionally underpaid and do the jobs that absolutely nobody would agree to do for that money that is being paid for, right?
Later in the broadcast. In Saudi Arabia, the number of Muslim pilgrims who've died amidst a searing heat wave in the holy city of Mecca.
Agro-industry is largely dependent on it, especially in the west and southwest. Yep.
Has topped 900 after temperatures this week soared above 125 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, we forgotten our bingo card. Environmental disaster. How could we? Thank you for reminding us. Depression Now, depressionnow.com with Amy Badman. I will never get tired of repeating that.
Thousands have been treated for heat exhaustion. Climate scientists warn the risk of heat stroke will continue to rise for the millions of Muslims who make the annual Hajj pilgrimage. This is Fahad Saeed, a scientist at Climate Analytics.
We must do climate action to stop the global warming at 1.5 degrees centigrade. At anything beyond that, we are putting those pilgrims at the risk of death.
In India, emergency workers have recovered the bodies of more than 50 unhoused people who've died over the last 2 days as daytime temperatures soared above 120 degrees Fahrenheit.
Floofers, I do wonder how this will go, considering these guys up top definitely know that they need undocumented immigrants to function, surely, right? They say it different for PR, but surely they know their own system, right? Yeah, they do. Some of them are extremely unhinged, and they are kind of the new American right, the Trumpian conservatives, right? They're extremely unhinged, and they're like, we do not exist in an international economy. America can just carry its own weight. And also, we do not care about the very intricate aspects of what is propping up our economy, such as the undocumented working classes. But then they get into power and they read the fucking documentation and they're like, I don't want the economy to go completely bust because I want to get fucking reelected. I'm going to bust! So they just hyperfixate on the undocumented immigrants that are coming in, right? That are coming in, not the ones that are currently here.
Indian health officials have...
Unless they go full unhinged. But then again, the market system reminds them, ironically.
logged over 40,000 suspected heat stroke cases so far this year.
So the more unhinged ones, no, it's going to hurt the economy. They don't give a fuck because it's going to get them elected. The less unhinged ones just talk about it and then they don't do anything about it later on.
Gulf of Mexico, tropical storm Alberto has made landfall, bringing heavy rains, flooding, and storms.
Or yeah, if you want to go very dark, I mean, if you're going to want to go very dark, just no immigrants, more prison slaves, and child labor. That's the solution. Exactly, Davo.
Surge to northeastern Mexico and southern Texas.
Especially if you can pass a law. Now we're going unhinged conspiracy theory, but if you can pass a law to just arrest all the undocumented immigrants, then you don't even have to pay them absolutely anything. If you start passing laws that you don't actually, like, quote unquote, kick them out of the country, but you get to arrest them and keep them there for 10 plus years, then that's bingo. That's fucking bingo. So you even, like, you say you're not going to open up the borders, but you open them up a bit. And you have a constant stream of undocumented immigrants that you allow to enter, maybe stay for half a year. You create a whole subsection of the FBI and the ATF and so on that is only going to track them. Then after half a year, up to a year, you arrest them. And you just, like, if Yugopnik was a fascist, that's what he would do. Like, I don't know, that's what I would do. That's what I would do. That works. That just works. And people are like, oh no, but then people are going to immigrate less because of the fear of literal arrests. No, they're the fear of literal arrests in the right-wing military dictatorships that the U.S. propped up back home. At least here they get prisons that are a bit cozier, you know?
At least 3 deaths have been reported. Alberto is the first.
Well, the capitalists will lose their cheap labor. Well, prisons are private in the States, my bro. Prisons are mostly private enterprises. So sure, some of the agro guys might need to go to a prison capitalist and ask them if they can use the free labor and then pay the prison capitalist, but it still works. You just switch it. Nothing worse. I don't know who said it. Nothing worse than an ex-communist, man. Because we know how all of this shit works. Like, we really do. And if we want to just fully embrace, pure evil, we can do it better than any of them. Any of them.
Named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. Forecasters are predicting a well above normal hurricane season. Elsewhere in the United States, the National Weather Service has issued heat alerts across 14 states today as an early season heat wave is set to topple high temperature records. Forecasters are predicting heat.
Communists make the best capitalists if you take the conscience away from them. You don't need to take the class conscience away from them. They will be class conscious capitalists. Socialism teaches you class consciousness, right? But you can be a class conscious capitalist and understand exactly how it works, but now want to change it because you're a capitalist. And that is the only honest capitalist that I literally respect. Like, they understand they're the enemy. They don't lie to themselves that they are contributing to the working classes and, money is going to trickle down, et cetera, et cetera. They're like more a hyper hierarchical perspective, borderline fascistic perspective of understanding we are the wolves, we eat. We eat the sheep, and the sheep are our employees, and fuck them. I'm going to milk them dry. Jeff Bezos, in my opinion, is a great example of exactly that. Guy knows exactly what he's doing. I'm 1,000% sure. And he's like, okay, fuck you. I'm the big fucking G. Remember when I worked in a library, none of you liked me? Now you fucking work for me, you're going to wear some fucking diapers. Sit the fucking line, bitch. That's a class-conscious capitalist. Nothing more dangerous than that. Nothing more dangerous than that.
Indexes of
capitalists read Marx and we're like, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Like, unironically, yes.
Up to 100.
Warren Buffett is a great example as well, yes.
105 degrees Fahrenheit in several cities from the Midwest to the Northeast. New Mexico's governor has declared a state of emergency and called up the National Guard after a pair of fast-growing wildfires destroyed more than 1,400 structures, including an estimated 500 homes. Firefighters say at least 2 people have been killed. Thousands more have been forced to evacuate, including the entire New Mexico village of Ruidoso, population 7,000.
It's definitely the largest fire that I've ever worked. The most damage. looking at our neighbors, our community.
Imagine if they were honest. Exactly, Liraket Owo. Q3 2024 strategy. You work harder, I get more money. Speaking of which, there are two choices in front of you right now. Watching the ad that is going to play in 4 minutes, and watching the many, many ads that will play throughout all of these streams, or subscribing for $5 a month or for free through Prime. The choice is yours. Do you want to work harder by watching ads, or do you want me to work harder by getting your hard-earned dollars? The choice is yours.
Our family, our friends, and looking at everything that they've worked for their entire lives just lost in a matter of seconds, it's very devastating.
The National Interagency Fire Center reports 21 large wildfires are currently burning across the western United States. A new study finds air pollution caused over 8 million deaths in 2021, killing more than 2,000 young children every day. The report from the Health Effects Institute finds air pollution's effects are highly disproportionate, with children in low and middle-income countries far more likely to be affected. The study warns the climate crisis is worsening air quality, with prolonged severe droughts and wildfires ravaging once thriving forests and filling the air with fine particulate matter. In the United Kingdom, two climate activists.
They really live up to their name. ThePrussianOwl.com with Amy Madman and the War and War Report.
Activists were arrested at a London airport this morning after they doused private jets with orange paint.
This was based,
Among the jets reportedly at London's Stansted Airport during the protest was a private plane owned by pop superstar Taylor Swift.
This was later confirmed not to be correct, but that was extra funny. That would be so funny if it was Taylor's fucking plane. Suck it, white girl.
The group Just Stop Oil said in a statement, quote, "Billionaires are not untouchable. Climate breakdown will affect every single one of us."
Next step, place bombs. Okay, I can't say that. You know what I'm saying, though. Please don't do that, though.
Unquote. The protest came a day after Just Stop Oil activists sprayed orange paint on the ancient megaliths of...
This was stupid. I'm sorry. This is fucking stupid. But what is more stupid is our whole planet burning down. But also, this is also stupid. Two things can be stupid at the same time.
Stonehenge. The protesters are demanding...
This just like smells like, I don't fucking know, like... what do you call those operations that are supposed to make you like hate a group? A psyop. Thank you, Kubashi. Man, Kubashi in chat. Hello, Kubashi. Yeah, this just looks like a psyop, like complete false flag psyop, whatever.
UK government sign a legally binding treaty to phase out all fossil fuels by 2030. French police have arrested 11 people in the Pacific territory of New Caledonia, including the head of the local independence movement, following weeks of protests over voting reforms pushed by France.
France, we are a European democracy, and we are not a colonial empire. Also, France shoot all the proceeds to say many, many different derogatory terms for the people they are colonizing. Like, I don't know, like this is France, brother.
Thousands of extra...
God help these people if the even more right-wingers win.
French police officers remain on the archipelago. Last week, French President Emmanuel Macron agreed to suspend the reforms.
Oh, thank you,
In Sudan,
Jesus.
at least 3 people were killed on Wednesday when fighters from the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, shelled a hospital in Omdurman. Doctors Without Borders reported the shelling injured 27 people.
They use starch-based paint that will wash off in the rain, so whatever. If that's true, then okay, I guess. But it still makes them, because people are not going to know, just like I didn't know, that they used paint that will wash off. So it will still look bad for climate activists, because it will paint all climate activists as unhinged fucking cringe lords.
Meanwhile, at the UN, Sudan accused the United Arab Emirates of fueling Sudan's civil war by arming the RSF. In news from Kenya, more than 200 protesters were arrested Tuesday in Nairobi in protests against proposed tax hikes. Police fired tear gas at the crowd and arrested observers from Amnesty International. In response to the protests, Kenyan lawmakers have dropped parts of the controversial bill, including a proposed tax hike on bread.
A proposed tax hike on bread. Whoa. You want to be like a fucking cartoon villain, brother in Christ? Oh, so tax hikes, good, yes. On what's on bread. The masses have to eat now. They have to consume the bread, and we will tax the bread, and that will increase our coffers. Indeed. You've truly learned from your English colonial masters, sir. Indeed, indeed. It's time for bakers to pay their fair share. Thank you very much, Slater Sand, for the resub. Welcome, my beautiful child soldier. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see if today we can get that fucking chain going, baby.
The Biden administration's approved selling 1,000 armed drones to Taiwan as part of a new $360 million weapons package. The sale includes 720 lightweight Switchblade one-way attack drones that have also been used in Ukraine's war against Russia. In Colorado, the shooter who killed 5 people and injured more than a dozen others at an LGBTQIA nightclub in 2022 has pleaded guilty to 74 federal charges, including hate crimes. Prosecutors agreed not to pursue the death penalty in exchange for the deal, which will see the shooter sentenced to 55 concurrent life sentences without the possibility of parole. The shooter's already serving consecutive life sentences after pleading guilty to state murder charges last year. Louisiana's
But I love how they caught him alive. You just gotta love that.
Republican Governor Jeff Landry has signed legislation requiring the 10 Commandments be displayed in the classroom at every public school from elementary to college. Commandments be displayed in the classroom at every public school from elementary to college.
Oh my fucking man! I love America, man. ICE is bad, but also let's do ISIS, but America.
The American Civil Liberties Union of Louisiana has vowed to sue on religious freedom grounds. In a statement with other groups, the ACLU said, quote, "Our public schools are not Sunday schools, and students of all faiths or no faith should feel welcome in them," unquote. Under the new...
Shut the fuck up, bitch. You ever read 10 fucking commandments? You get fucking shot if you don't believe in our God, brother. This is the land of the free as long as you're a law-abiding Christian of this particular denomination that almost all other Christians will consider fucking heretic. What the fuck is a Baptist church, my dude? What the fuck is the Lord's house of the green chicken praising the Lord of the boo-boo-boo-boo-baba? Like half of American churches are like fucking completely invented out of thin air. And they're like, yeah, we're real Christians, bro. Come talk to a fucking Italian Catholic or a fucking Serbian Orthodox Christian and ask them what they think about your fucking variety of Christianity, my dude. Fucking, it's the same meme of American white dudes being like, we have white pride, brothers. White pride, brothers. And then like actual quote unquote white people are like, dude, what the you're not fucking white. It's the same like, we are proud Christians. Which one? You have like 5,000 registered Christian denominations, my dude. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You have like, oh, I believe in a Christ that will also not like the... I believe in God that would currently not recognize Christ as his Lord. We are only reading the Old Testament because in the New Testament, they talk too much about how rich people fuck up things. God, man.
Law classrooms must post a copy of the...
We do not want a pope of our church. We want a CEO of our church, brothers and sisters. For we praise at the altar of capital, and we shall read the 10 commandments of the altar of capital every morning and every night. Thou shalt consume, thou shalt buy, and thou shalt work, or thou shalt burn in the hells of socialism.
The 10 Commandments no smaller than 11...
But no, seriously, what's up with the 700 fucking denominations, man, that are literal corporations, like literal tax havens? Motherfuckers were like, oh, what? Like churches don't get taxed? Okay, let me make a fucking church where I praise at the altar of Kim Kardashian's thick fucking yacht. We're gonna call each other's the yachters, man. Let's praise at the yacht. The yacht shall lead us to sovereignty. of the soul. The soul has always found its place in the gyat. Without the gyat, you do not really have a soul. The gyatless people shall be destroyed, or they shall be given a BBL. Do you understand me, brothers and sisters? Either BBL or death. The most average American Christian denomination, like the least unhinged American Christian denomination. And then they're like, we believe in Lord Jesus. No, you fucking don't. Shut the fuck up.
7 by 14 inches.
BBL Drizzy.
The world-renowned linguist and
That is the first commandment, the BBL Drizzy.
President Noam Chomsky was discharged from a Sao Paulo hospital in Brazil Tuesday as he continues to recover from
gospel choir behind you singing BBL Drizzy, Drizzy, BBL Drizzy, Drizzy.
a stroke charge from a Sao Paulo hospital in Brazil Tuesday as he continues to recover from a stroke last year that impacted his ability to speak.
We are glad that our boy Chomsky is alive, but I loved all the memes also. People are like, rest in peace, Chomsky 2024, reborn 2024.
His wife, Valeria, recently told a newspaper in Brazil the 95-year-old Noam Chomsky still follows the news and raises his left arm in anger when he sees images of Israel's war on Gaza. False reports that Noam Chomsky had died went viral online on Tuesday. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.
Thank you very much, Depression Now, depressionnow.com with Amy Badman from the War and War Report. Go and subscribe if you haven't. The best source of le news on le internet, le pepe mean frog, BBL Drizzy, gyat, toilet man coming out of toilet. Anyways, this was stuff that was actually meaningful. Let's talk about stuff that is absolutely, completely not meaningful for a bit, and then we'll go back to things that are meaningful. And that is this kick is falling apart. Our great enemies, the ones who do not believe in the faith of the gyat, rising from the clouds of Mordor, also known as Kick, seem to be experiencing problems. Our great leader, the true Sultan of the Twitch left, has gathered his armies against the Mordorian kicksters and shall talk ill of them in his stream, and we shall watch the highlight and celebrate as our armies prepare to march under his banner against the Kickerites. Yes, I'm doing a thing. At least attempted to do a thing.
Former Kick staff says what we all knew. So that was dropping hard.
Please, beautiful mods, are just the title. Thank you very much. I love you.
Hard hours casually in the office. Wait, what? Ex-staff, why I had to leave Kick?
For those of you who don't know who I am, which is probably 99% of you, my name's Melissa, and I was previously employed by Kick and Steak. There's been a couple of controversies.
Why do they call it employed? Somebody help me. Why do you call it employed? Do you have to sign something additional with Kick? Like, are they a fucking employer? Because I'm a partner level 2, whatever, gets 70% with Twitch, and I'm not an employee.
Recently that I've posted on my Twitter just in regards to how they've treated me since I left. Not only did they send me a cease and desist, which I'll go into in a second, in regards to this tweet.
Oh no, so what? They actually employ them. She worked for the company itself. Okay, thank you. I thought she was a streamer on the platform, and she was an actual employee. She was my favorite. To this day, I can no longer hear the word employee without literally hearing... I'm sorry, you probably watched this 1,000 times, but I cannot hear the word employee without hearing...
We just fired the person that does that, but now you have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees. You missed some trash over there, honey.
I can't. It ruined the word employee for me forever. She's a literal ex-staffer and not a streamer. Okay, thank you, Toasty Android. Okay, I get it, Chop. She was an employee. She was the favorite employee. I get it. She has been demoted. Can you clean this stuff over there, please?
Hard hours casually in the office. Wait, what? Ex-staff, why I had to leave Kick?
For those of you who don't know who I am, which is probably
Should I maybe watch that literally? Literally? Burger? Should I watch the video itself, or should I watch Hassan's coverage? Chat, vote. Tell me. Write either Hassan or her. Just write her, because I'm X to Hassan, her, Hassan, her, Hassan, her. The video is like 40 minutes long. This one is 20. Hers is 40. Hassan, okay. Hassan, okay. You guys are fucking cunts. Okay, let's watch this.
99% of you. My name's Melissa, and I was previously employed by Kick and Steak. There's been a couple of controversies recently that I've...
Kick and Steak. I'm not. She seems like a lovely lady. I'm not saying anything, but imagine being at the when do Americans gather like once a year, because you have no idea of what an actual family is, even though you pretend to make it such a big fucking thing. When you gather once a year for Thanksgiving, and they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" I work for Kick. And what was the other one?
Previously employed by...
Imagine telling your grandma I work for Kick and Steak. And what do these companies do? Oh, Kick, there's like unhinged people that talk into a camera. And then other people throw money at them and we take percentage. But we're different to Twitch because we let them say slurs.
There's been a couple of controversies recently that I've posted on my Twitter just in regards to how they've treated me since I left. Not only did they send me a cease and desist, which I'll go into in a second, in regards to this tweet or here.
I work for Kick. I think you need a kick to actually work, am I right?
But they've also been lying about the fact that I was fired when I quit. So I posted...
Kick is the website where we are regularly in the news for having streamers solicit sex from minors. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. A platform that is somehow worse than Twitch. You gotta, like, think that up. Even though I came on Twitch at the exact right moment when Twitch is now improving stuff. And compared to YouTube... Like, no joke, 100 times better, 100 times better. Seriously. Like, current Twitch compared to half a decade on YouTube that I've done, 100 times better. Like, incomparable. They immediately gave me a guy that I can reach out to at any time, that I did, and they would reply in 24 hours easy. About some copyright stuff I had as a problem. They added new things. I went and asked them, I don't get how this works. Explained it immediately. The current split that I got, I'm as transparent to you as possible. Whenever you give me $5 or €4 or whatever, I get 70% of it, not like it was in the beginning 55, right? Like, thank you. Great. You know, I can't... We came here for communist propaganda, not for you to suck on a corporation's dick. But I'll say it, like I much prefer Twitch's cock than YouTube's cock. It is a much nicer uncircumcised thick boy. YouTube's dick can barely even get up at this point. Like, doesn't even get up. It just does domestic violence. Like, you upload a video and it's like, oh, we're striking you and no money and also fuck you. Like, it's like, YouTube is like, don't upload anything. Fuck you whenever you upload. Thank you very much, Yanagibashi, for the 2 gifted subs. Thank you very much. And there you go. I get 70% of that, which should be bigger motivation for you to sub. Limp dick YouTube, man. Obviously, don't body shame, blah, blah, blah. Nothing wrong with having erectile dysfunction, but you get my fucking point. YouTube has erectile dysfunction.
This post with my resignation letter in it. Now, when I talk about them lying about...
What a very Ugopnik analogy. You're very fucking welcome, man.
Me being fired, I'm not talking about an entry...
I hope you were imagining a very nice, thick, uncut cock in, like, Twitch colors, and then a limp pee-pee with the YouTube colors.
Level exec or some account manager. I'm talking
about... Oh, Ugopnik, we need, like, my mods be like, Ugopnik, let's figure out a way to grow our audience. Also, Ugopnik, so, like, Twitch is like a big cock, right? And YouTube is like a limp dick. Oh, man, I'm never becoming mainstream, I swear to fucking God. Thank you, Kid Litzo. Yay, my favorite goober is back.
About the CMO.
Dude, I call my fucking subs child soldiers of the great Israeli state. Okay? I am a professional at taking my career out back and shooting it at the back of its head. Okay?
of both Kick and Stake. The guy that approves all the contracts, he's the head of the affiliate team for Stake, he runs the social media team, but pretty much everything runs through him. But they do employ people purposely that are completely okay with unethical behavior, even so much as to walk past the socials room, the guys that run the, you know, Kick streaming and Kick community, and hear the N-word just dropped. Hard R. And I'm like, what is this office? How?
Yes, here we never say the N-word.
They had the executive, like the upper
But no, yeah,
management
that's a
was
fucked up.
in
Shock.
What?
You know, Kick streaming behavior, even so much as to walk past the socials room, the guys that run the, you know, Kick streaming and Kick community, and hear the N-word just dropped. Hard R. And
Jesus Christ, the actual employees. The actual employees. Fucking hell, man. Holy shit. This kind of, like, doesn't change anything, but, you know, the pitch was always, we just want to be Twitch, but with absolutely no censorship. You can do almost anything on here. And that was a dog whistle, as we all knew. And now we know that it was a dog whistle of, hey, fellow N-word haters, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm like,
4chaners finally finding a job. Hey, what do you do, grandson? Oh, I was a mod in 4chan, and everybody was like, that will never lead to a fucking career. Until Kick hired me, and I make a fucking 100K a month. Okay?
what is this office? How? And they had the executive, like the upper management was in.
Shocking. Who could have thought that that this was happening? First of all, they're literally paying streamers to like defend saying the N-word anyway, or they're paying streamers who are defending saying the N-word anyway. What I want to know is like what kind of.
But if we talk about the C word, then everybody loses their mind. I did a Joker thing there. I am 12, and this is 2007.
Of marketing initiatives they engaged in. Did they pay those like
everybody loses their mind?
blue checkmark Twitter accounts to do ads for Kick in general, or maybe even attack Kick's enemies, perceived enemies? That's what I would want to know.
I even remember seeing a couple of people in my team laughing because they were deliberately misgendering transgender streamers. Like, how do you function in that environment?
You literally told Vice.
Well, that's literally the I'm sorry, she seems like a nice lady, but that's literally the place you're working at. Their platform is, hey, come say this stuff here and you will get paid, because other platforms are like, we kind of have to draw lines somewhere.
Is President trained to be careful not to go down this path to his face? Once again, you were correct, but just too early. At that point, I wasn't even correct too early. I was just correct. And people were getting the bag to not see it. And so instead of, I don't know, heeding my warnings, they chose to disassociate, alienate myself and my community and cast me out as like a social pariah. And you know, a couple years down the line, we are now looking at a situation where every single person still carries on those resentments, by the way. Like, their communities still carry those resentments. The Hassan is a snake.
But how does their community not realize that they are the quite literal sellouts? They sold out to a platform that has absolutely no moral compass whatsoever. How in their eyes is Hassan a moral pariah or whatever for not wanting to go to a platform which allows you to openly misgender people and say the N-word and sexually harass minors in front of the fucking camera, man? How, like, what kind of shit do you have to do in your brain to come with that mathematical conclusion? Oh, I know. It's being 12 years old. Which is a different conversation of garnering massive audiences that use their fucking parents' credit cards to spam sub the shit out of you whenever you say an edgy thing. Which at the end of the day, that's the entire Kick business model, bro. God damn it. Speaking of business models, I understand that Twitch also needs to make money by playing ads. But also I do. So you have a choice. Watch an ad, consume shit you don't want, or become a sub for $5 a month for free through Prime and keep me on this channel. Because if I don't get enough subs, I will go on Kick and I will walk around with my dick out screaming unhinged things. Okay, that was a horrible allegory because I think half of you would like to see that.
Type And yet people now also
6 out of 10, step it up. Yeah, it's not a lot of inspiration coming in, okay?
recognize that maybe I was right. Just won't say it. Maybe they don't even know why they carry that resentment. They've just been conditioned into being like, yeah, that guy sucks. His opinions are wrong. Nope, they weren't.
So my daughter started school in February, and every second week I needed to pick her up. So I would get in at around 9:30 after dropping her off. I wouldn't take any breaks.
Thank you very much to the legendary Kit Lizzo for the gifted sub. Thank you, brother.
Or have lunch, and I would leave by about 2:30. It's important to note that a lot of staff members work from home, and we absolutely didn't have a stringent office working environment where we couldn't actually access information outside of the office. Especially my team, where we had to work 24/7 because we were the POCs for a lot of partners overseas, so it was very normal to work from home anyway.
POCs for you guys is a person of contact, not people of color. Okay, just so you know. Like, I remember my little first job, and I'm walking in, and I'm like a social media marketing guy. And I'm walking in, and they're hiring me, and they're like, okay, so these are your POCs. This is your POC from the Czech Republic. This is your POC from Slovenia. This is your POC from Serbia. And I'm like, what? Because I was for like a lot of Slavic countries. I'm like, holy shit. In all those Slavic countries, you found black people that are going to manage everything? I was like, oh, I guess progressive? What the fuck is going on? But no, person of contact.
And all I needed to do was work from home for a couple of hours at the end of the day.
Also proof of concept, yeah. But in this case, POC is different.
Work 24/7 because we were the POCs for a lot of partners overseas, so it was very normal to work from home anyway, and all I needed to do was work from home for a couple of hours at the end of the day to pick up my daughter every second week. You can imagine it was a surprise to me when the manager of the partners team, yes, the same guy that has been going around spreading lies about me, sat me down and just flat out said that my flexible working arrangements would be revoked effective immediately and I need to find alternatives.
I got
the little company that's like, you can make money from your own house by just streaming, telling their employees, no, you gotta come to the office. Fuck you. The fuck?
For saying
AOC, PMS, jizz.
Kick will only last as long as Eddie's willing to call it an advertising expense for...
Kick will only last as long as Eddie is willing to call it an advertising expense for steak. It was doomed to fail from the start.
It was doomed to fail from the start. No advertisers running on Amazon IVS, no organic growth, have to hire people to come. It was doomed. Yeah. Here's the thing, everybody. Ultimately, the same test exists for Kick as it does for every other streaming platform. Would people go there and voluntarily stream there for free? If the answer is no, then there is no long-term commitment to growing the platform. I said this about YouTube at the time as well. If YouTube wanted to, they could genuinely create a massive competitor to Twitch. They just don't care about deploying enough resources in that direction. They care about short form content, so Twitch lucked out in that front. But for Kick, it was never slated as a genuine competitor to Twitch. It was just
YouTube, even to an extent, like makes everything regarding everything connected to streaming extremely tedious and complicated and difficult, and it harms your algorithm to an extent when it comes to your regular content. YouTube, like, without saying it outright, was like, okay, we're adding this streaming thing, but kind of don't do it. Don't do it. It's if you want to stream on YouTube, it should be like a once a month hangout session, right? Because they do want to garner that weird ass fucking relationship between content creator and viewer, and maybe the once a month stream is gonna do that. But YouTube never intended for long term streaming, and absolutely agreed with Hassan. Twitch really lucked out on that one because YouTube has a lot more money than Twitch. Okay, if they wanted to, they could.
Created because you could no longer advertise steak on Twitch.
The only good thing about TUI, you mean YouTube streaming, or is you can get away with more licensed music. No, YouTube is insane. On YouTube, like, they immediately stop your stream the second a song plays. The way I played the Bad Boys, What You Gonna Do, my stream would immediately like be frozen on YouTube. Immediately. As I said before, YouTube at this point like hates you if you upload something. It like despises you for uploading something. Like, kind of ironically, like the amount of mechanisms they've developed to give you limited to no ads or to even block your video is insane. And that is systematic, of course. Later, we'll watch a video about YouTube CEOs or whatever they want to tell us, right? That is intentional because they only want to garner incredibly vanilla content. Incredibly vanilla content. That is the direction that YouTube is going into. And I'm so happy I got to meet Hakeem and JT and start a fucking show with them that absolutely exploded, and that's pretty much what feeds me. And now I'm creating a lovely community with you fucking unhinged chatters here, because there is no long term when it comes to being a communist on YouTube. There isn't. There isn't. Give it 5 years. Give it 5 years. It's borderline going to be impossible. That's not what they want. It's not what they want.
Sorry, but this is wrong. Kick is genuinely thriving. I like a lot of creators that move there, and they're cleaning it up. Currently, I'd say only about 85% of the streamers there are Nazi kid diddlers. They're making progress. Yeah. Twitch has always had issues itself in getting people to the platform. They were pretty open about this pre-2016. They've always relied on big gaming releases. Kick doesn't have that draw. Well,
dude, you immediately fuck up when you're creating your platform as an alternative to something. The Rumbles, the Kicks, etc., etc. Because you're massively limiting yourself to a potential from potential audiences that very often bring in a lot of money, and that's what YouTube knows very well. But YouTube is going in the other extreme direction where they want to like make it vanilla on steroids, yeah. And Twitter is trying to do something in between, but then it's just becoming fucking 4chan number 2.
It's a little bit different when the big draw you have is like the next drop or something. You know what I mean? I'd rather have a platform have a bigger draw with gaming releases than new slurs being unearthed. It's like, hey, we found a new way. Guys, we found a new and unique way to distribute CP and accrue and aggregate and distribute CP. That's the big draw. Or a new slur at the slur factory. A new way to film yourself doing crimes. Additionally shocking that, you know, people who got the bag to stream there specifically defend it. Of course, doesn't mean that Twitch doesn't have its fair share problems. Of course it does. It's just that, you know, at least it's not a platform that is genuinely trying to market itself as the place to go to when you get banned out of every other platform for doing sometimes crimes, like literal crimes. When the bag dries up, you will see what streamers truly feel about this platform. They won't say it while they're being paid, obviously, but when they are no longer being paid, you will hear what they're
Kick is literally like, you know, you watch a cringe fucking horror movie about a tech dystopia where a guy live streams cutting off another dude's fingernails for every donation, and you're like, this is super unrealistic. Kick entered chat. What? This sounds like a great fucking idea. Like the inevitable conclusion of a platform such as Kick is exactly that. Just putting up a camera in a dark room and just castrating people from views. Okay? Don't let the fucking cartels hear this, okay? Thank you, the guru of reason, for becoming another child soldier of the great Israeli state. We shall redeem the land of the Gunner eventually.
true opinion was on the matter. Will anybody turn around and go, well, what the for years you lied to me about this? Probably not, because as streamers, we do have a very sycophantic audience for the most part, and it is one built around parasocial activity and parasocial behaviors. So, of course, just like what I mentioned, even though I was right about this kick from the jump, many people who carried that resentment because their streamers held that resentment don't even know why they are resentful now, but they still go along with it.
So the second incident that happened about 2 days prior to me leaving, which really solidified it, I walked out of this meeting, called my friend and was like, it's done, I'm done, I'm out of here, I cannot do this anymore. We were talking about the fact that they were trying to get a very beloved Twitch streamer over to Kick, to stream Steak as well, and and just
Yanagibashi Kick was inspired to create a torment nexus by the great sci-fi dystopian movie Don't Create the Torment Nexus. Literal humans watching cringe horror movies and being like, what if we like do that? What if like we do that?
Just for context, this particular streamer had been publicly battling cancer recently. So they decided to utilize that in their strategy to get this person over. The conversation very quickly became quite sinister. I'm going to say a quote, and it's something that I cannot get out of my head because it's so heinous to me. And I think it will speak volumes in, you know, the type of characters that work there, which is why I had to get out. The quote that I remember hearing was, "We can get her on Kick streaming steak for a relatively low price because she probably thinks she's going to die soon and she'll want to leave more money for her family."
This is the platform that like a lot of your fucking kids go to watch shit. Motherfuckers make fucking private military corporations look decent. How can you take something so innocent, like turning on a camera and talking about some shit that you really care about? That's how this started. And you're doing it live, so you know silly things can happen, etc., etc. People feel like they're there with you. At least that's why I watch streams. What the fuck? My light is dying. There you go. Even God is getting pissed off. How can you take something so innocent, so pure, so simple? At the end of the day, it's simple. It is simple, and create a megacorp out of it, where you are trying to find ways to maximize profit from those very same chill people that, you know, want to entertain, inform, just talk their heart out sometimes, and turn it into something like this. And not to be like the cliche, like commie guy or whatever, but that's what the profit motive does to people. The profit motive can take something as simple and chill as talking to a camera with like-minded people who care about the same thing, and turn it into a conversation about how we can extract maximum profit out of a dying woman. When pure profitability is everything that leads us, that is what happens. At this point, if you don't have to be a communist or whatever, but if you think that this system is in any shape or form natural or normal, or even worse, that it brings out the best aspects of man, you are not a good human being, or you are incredibly stupid. And this is incredible testimony exactly to that. Sorry that my light is losing its shit, like genuine. Like my lights, my electronics in the fucking room are like, what the fuck are you watching, dude? I know it's difficult to, even in moments like this, to like not blame the individual or whatever, even though obviously you should, in this case, fucking animals. But this is a consequence of a system that creates values such as these. The streamer in question also says that she's off chemotherapy, so she's doing well, all things considered. God bless. I'm really glad to hear that.
When I heard that, I actually was surprised. I looked up in surprise. And everybody else was sort of looking at this person that was speaking and just being like, yeah, you know, that's true. Let's go with that. Like, I think we can get this person. And I remember getting really hot after that. Like, I just felt like I was in hell and I was talking to the devils and I was talking to demons. Like, and
honestly, that is like, when you think about it, I feel like that kind of like bloodless opportunism is like somewhat expected from any kind of corporation, I guess. It's demon pretty gross, and I don't know what else to say about it. This is not an excuse for kick or steak.
Yeah, it's not even demon shit. Like, you know, what is a demon? The supporter of like jealous of God creating humans, and therefore what the fuck happened to my jealous of God creating humans, and then being like, yo, we were supposed to be our OG children, what the fuck are you doing? It's led by jealousy. This is led by wanting to accrue digital currency in a system that does not care about you, which will lead you to such a soulless point, even more than that of a demon. Do not consider another person's incredibly difficult predicament and instead place your profit motive ahead of it. Jesus fucking Christ.
Obviously, but it is literally a crypto gambling casino that created this live streaming service specifically to continue doing
This is just every company, because it's in a space that we tend to hope is kinder because we parasocially connected to it. It's surprising. Why would the silly stream guy seems nice do the kind of things that literally every other corporate entity does? Yeah, I agree. But that's exactly why I'm using it as an example. Because like this experience, which is, again, it corrupts absolutely everything. That is supposed to be peak innocence, talking into a microphone. They somehow managed to turn into whatever this demon shit is. Stonks versus woman with cancer. I, for one, choose stonks.
Marketing for their crypto gambling casino, which provides a service like unrestricted access from your computer without very significant regulation or protections.
They don't care about on the platform. Like this guy right here, I had to fight tooth and nail to get this guy off. This is something I went into detail in the other video, but yeah, fought so hard to get this guy off, and he told two 14-year-old girls that he wanted to do something sexual to them, and he even included their age in the proposition. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, it's so heinous, it's so wrong, and the fact that everyone there could watch it almost with a grin on their face. There were staff members who were defending it, saying that it was a joke. That was actually
the guru of reason. Remember the internet in the late 90s and early 2000s? It was so innocent. It was, wasn't it? Right? But so were most things before they get commodified by this. Dude, you need to use a corporate entity, what we'll talk about later, in order to get a date now. To partner up with another person. Like, everything gets commodified. It gets eaten up. It doesn't even get spit out anymore. Because in order for it to need to spit it out, you need people to be like, this is not okay. And sure, right now we're sitting here and we're saying this is not okay, et cetera, et cetera. But the system no longer cares. Because the system has already created enough fucking drones that have completely rewired themselves. And a lot of people probably watched what she just said and were like, yeah, it's brutal, but that's what happens when you're running a business. You use absolutely everything to have an edge over your quote-unquote opponent. We look at each other as opponents. Fucking streaming app.
One of the first times I was like, I have to walk away. If this guy stays on the platform, I have to go. Before I got there was no verification process for if somebody was underage. And it's so funny because by the time I left, me and compliance had put together a process, and because I was pushing it so hard, I'm like, we cannot allow anybody.
An ad is gonna play. I feel too pissed off about this to even give you a silly pitch. It's gonna play in 1.5 minutes. If you want to support the show, please do so. I will be very grateful. If not, watch the ad, enjoy it, God bless, or gift one to somebody else. Thank you very much.
Under 13 to stream. Now, nobody knew this, by the way, because I guess when you copy Twitch's TOS verbatim.
And you joked about this when Mike was on the podcast about competing over stream times, right? Oh, that's also disgusting. That's like a different aspect. Like, we're a bunch of commies here trying to do our best, depending on our perspectives, to introduce people to class consciousness. And because we're all doing it on the same platform, we eventually kind of become competitors and start looking at each other as competitors. It's fucked in the head, man. I'm now supposed to shit on committee or on Hassan because I want some of their viewers, right? And that's what in my video about the left pipeline, I talk about and specifically title tumors. Because these guys don't want you to go down the pipeline because at the end of the day, they're more profit driven because they want you to stay in their community. And I go to somebody who's maybe more educated or maybe more radical or maybe can introduce you to things that are supposed to push you to eventually organizing and doing some shit in the real world. it just it manages to commodify comradeship. It managed to commodify capitalism itself with techno-feudalism, what we talked about plenty of times with what our boy Uncle Yanis introduced to the conversation. Right? Where, you know, now there's capitalists that own swaths of the internet. So if you want to sell shit like a capitalist, you have to go to another capitalist that will then extract surplus value from your already extracted surplus value as capitalist. It's insane. And this animal, which is not human, it's code. It's we're like, oh, AI is gonna take over. It already has. What is the market? Market is a bunch of fucking numbers moving around and controlling every single aspect of our lives. You don't need crazy AI guy with horse doing whatever the fuck. With horse. I don't know why I said horse. Thank you, Dr. Sleepy Fist, for the 5 gift subs. Respect. Thank you very much. We are at 75% of reaching our goal for this month. Thank you, my beautiful, beautiful children.
And then you just get some random guy in the office to change, you know, the wording. None of the staff know the terms of service. So a lot of people...
Fucking 52nd gift sub by Dr. Sleepy Fist. Thank you, my friend.
We're just like, nah, she can stream even if she's 6 years old because, you know, she'll have her dad near her or whatever. And it's like, no, that's actually not the case. She cannot be on the platform and she cannot hold her own account. Funnily enough, when I left, I was like, okay, good. The child safety part is pretty much done. They have a process now in place, and I'm pretty sure there's no need to allow children on the platform, because what market are you trying to capture? You already have on the platform. Are you just trying to like appease them? Like, what's the point? I still don't know, because I saw this tweet about 2 or 3 weeks ago where a prominent staff member is promoting on Twitter an 11-year-old boy who...
What the This kid's been hustling all weekend. Dallas with a solid family and his child. Check out when he fires up on Kick.
Year-old boy who, whilst I was there, I was the reason why this kid got banned. And I'm sorry to the child that, you know, that might upset you, but it's about your own safety. And especially on Kick, I feel like sometimes Kick should...
You're definitely gonna get clapped by the FBI. Bro, the FBI's asleep at the wheel, dude. I think you gotta understand, a lot of our law enforcement agencies, like even federal ones, are just like not really doing a lot of that you think they'd be doing. I mean, this platform...
And additionally, I can't believe that nobody's like commenting on it. It's also a pyramid scheme. You do get that, right? It's for money, like it's perfect for money laundering. Because if you just, for example, you say, yo, I'm going to bring celebrity A to the show and I will pay them $400,000. You can write that off from your taxes. But you can also agree with the rapper that comes on your stream that you will actually pay him $200,000, and the other $200,000 you've washed just now, right? And number 2, it's a pyramid scheme because you want to refer people to the platform so you get a percentage, and I don't think I need to explain further from that, right?
Straight up has like...
And then it's allowed to do it to children. It's an MLM where you can also do it to kids. Love it. Love it.
Ton of people that are serializing child, like distributing and generating CP. I don't know what else to say.
FBI be like, this is super fucked up. Children cannot enter a casino, but only when it's made out of bricks. If it's an online casino that is also known for doing fucked up shit to children, then they don't do anything, because again, the law never adapts quick enough, or sometimes doesn't even care to adapt quick enough.
Other than like, that's insane. That's not just like cancel culture or whatever. That's just a crime.
This child was banned when I was there because, you know, I did have a zero tolerance towards it, because children need to be protected, not only against the people on the platform, but you need to protect children against being, you know, exploited by their parents, which you see on YouTube all the time. You need to protect children from people on the streams. Like if he got chatbotted, or, you know, a bad character came into his stream and started saying horrible things that you can only imagine.
Dude, if we think that it's not okay to let a child alone stand in the middle of the fucking city square and for people to walk around and throw money at them as it's saying certain things, then it's not supposed to be allowed to do that online. There's no fucking difference. The difference is a caveat. Actually, arguably, a lot more people can gather online and fucking lambast them and ruin their life and make them want to off themselves. How is this even a conversation, bro? How is this even a conversation?
I would feel guilty for that. And who knows what that's going to do to that child.
Yeah, also, aside from the fact that he's streaming on a platform with like people who are literally distributing CP.
As he grows up. Ugh. God, it's I just can't believe these people. Anyway, so
And it's anonymous. Exactly, Navapo. Yeah.
as you can see in the tweet, he's just promoting him. He's reinstated his account. The kid gets featured all the time and he's verified. And he's 11. And the reason I know he's 11 is because on his Facebook page that he used to stream on, it says, I turned 11 in Dallas. They just blatantly ignore their terms of service, which are in place to protect children from dipshit like this that I, for some reason, had to fight to get off the platform. I'm sorry.
Thank God she's gone. She's the wokest employee I've ever seen. Good riddance.
Yo, guys, saying that wanting to rip off someone because they have cancer is woke. Now, wanting to underpay somebody because they might die and calling that out as wrong makes you a beta cuck, baby.
That's not wokeness. It's basic common sense on how to run a company. The company was built on free speech. The minor thing and the Jake Future thing were a bit far, though. I can't get mad at that. What? Oh, I guess it's a bit far for the CP you know, a bit far. A bit far for what? The criminal justice system? Like, what are we a bit far for? Like, a bit far is when you have like an edgy content creator who maybe teeters along the lines, like who teeters on the edge. Like, that's a bit far. Letting someone back onto the platform after they've like been edgy or whatever. You can't say it's a bit far when you talk about like a person who is distributing and acquiring child. That is not a bit far. That is insanely illegal. You should be in jail. You should be in prison. Having children stream on that platform on top of it is insane. I don't know how to describe it.
Streamers do have viewers that are likely to mortgage their house to stream on stakes. So that is the reason. And well, you know, what's a few for a few $1 billion. So anyways, thank you for watching. I don't know if this video is even going to go anywhere. I hope it does, because this is the only way that they're going to be held accountable. I also don't know what's going to happen to me because of this video. I don't really care if they sue me. I doubt Steak wants to be in a courtroom anyway.
Nah, they can't do shit. They can only eat your shit. They can't do shit. You did right. Both as a human being, but also legally now you're that's it. Like, you should be a protected quote unquote witness now.
But
yeah, that's the other thing. Like, if they tried to sue her, I don't know the litigation process in a place like Australia, but like ultimately so much. The Hasanbe paints his nails, Zoom clip, aged like fine wine. I'd rather watch you paint nails than kick streamers solicit and sell CP. Yeah. Do you guys have that clip? I want you to understand like the culture surrounding Kick for a second, where they would do like in the beginning when they were in their heyday, when they were celebrating their glorious W's, like bringing up all these like massive content creators with insane bags onto the platform. And I didn't even know about this. They were having like investor meetings or whatever. They would have meetings with like the executive team. And in those meetings, they were talking about me, which is insane to me. Oh, this is the one. This is
play devil's advocate. What other platform are you going to get finger painting lessons from Hassan? You know, this is content that only Twitch can offer the community.
Like, I think that guy's literally Travis Scott's manager. That's Eddie, right? That's Eddie, right? Steak. You have Train right there, Aiden Ross, Bruce Jobamoff. What the fuck are they doing? Like, this is supposed to be like a moment of celebration. What the fuck are you bringing me up and finger painting and shit?
Yeah, I mean, it's classes. We can also offer classes and
because, dude, even if they have fucking billions upon billions of dollars, deep down in their soul, they know they fucking suck, bro. Deep down, they know. Deep down, they know. Deep down, they know they're wrong also for what they're doing. Everybody does. You can't lie to the heart. So they have to continuously be toxic about people that, again, deep down they know are doing the right thing. It's called being toxic, okay? It's called gaslighting yourself.
Socialism.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I've never seen a socialist that is, that is probably matched up with America's top capitalists.
Point of order, quarterly financials. 2, tax returns. 3, Hassan Piker Instagram story. 4, employee layoffs. Like, that's really
what did that even
probably matched up. I've seen a socialist that is, that is probably matched up with America's top capitalists.
What does matched up mean? What, if they can fight? Give me the American lingo to my Balkan ass here. What does matched up mean? Like if they can beat the shit out of? Like out masculine? Like what? What, in collaborate? What? Money. Yeah, of course the top socialist is not going to have as much money as fucking Warren Buffett. But if he's talking about fighting, yeah, I would love to watch Hassan Abi fight Warren Buffett, bro. Or Elon Musk. What the fuck? It's bad English, not lingo.
Point of order, quarterly financials. 2, tax returns. 3, Hassan Piker Instagram story. 4, employee layoffs. Like, that's obsessive. Like, actually obsessive.
You know,
Insane.
in their pockets. So pretty wild world we live in here. But, you know, as we know, the people are stupid. They can't see the truth until it's too late.
Yeah.
But
speaking of...
Yeah, the truth of running a casino and being allowed to say the N-word and talking shit about trans people. The eternal truth of the future of our species. Ooga booga. Okay?
The truth until it's too late. I'm sure you guys have a clip of me.
Yeah, and the entire truth they're selling is, yo, use your crypto to play blackjack, brothers. What the fuck? That's the whole spiel. Hello! Batinaj Zatvori. Hello, Left Flank Vets. One of my favorite comrades on here. Please go and check out their beautiful work. Thank you very much for the raid. Thank you very, 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 very much, everybody here. Go and give a follow to Left Flank Vets, please. Mods, put a link in chat. I hope you had a good stream. Here we are talking about, well, fucking streaming platforms and the disease, which is the good old market, turning something so innocent, which is this, talking into a camera about things you're passionate about with people who are also passionate about it, into a disgusting experience where, as we've heard before, quite literally on Kick, they sit down in a corporate room and say, how do we get a person dying of cancer to come to our platform so that we can underpay her as compared to somewhere else because she's dying of cancer. So welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who are new here, we basically talk about communist shit and we take our dick out and whip it on their foreheads.
Warning train about this years
If anybody was thinking about gifting subs, now is the moment for the beautiful, beautiful Left Flank community coming right in here. Welcome, everybody.
Ago, but I don't know. It's out there.
But yeah, I mean, I think you...
Oh, Nanashi Makoto, thank you. It's my birthday today. Oh, Nanashi Makoto, happy birthday, beautiful. Happy birthday. Everybody say happy birthday to Nanashi Makoto, one of the OGs in chat.
Bring up a great point, David.
A socialist that is bought and paid for
Wonderful.
by Jeff
A
Bezos.
new child soldier. I mean,
Oh, such a hot take, guys. I am also bought and paid for by Jeff Bezos. You exist on a platform run by capitalists, and yet you criticize capitalism. A new Vuvuzela 9006 million iPhone just dropped. Thank you very much. Ay. Too hardcore, 69 bits. Happy B-Day. Happy B-Day.
Pretty sure.
Look at all them laughing. That was, he got him with that one, bro. He got him with that one.
Clips from literally days after the 4-hour-long convo you had with him and
a communist driving on an American road that is built on imperialism to go get groceries. We got him there, brothers. Right after we got him there about painting his nails, that goddamn and F word.
Thanks. Yeah. These dudes were literally bought by Kick, right? The content creators, I mean, Train was like one of the founders. These two are content creators that they had hired at that point. And this dude owns like Stake. I think he owns Stake.
Imagine the void that these people have in their souls and hearts. That, like, no matter how much money they have, at the end of the day, they've made that money from the most useless thing that I can think of. That is playing casino online and referring people to go and play the same casino. It's even more void and soulless than the casinos themselves. That is on what you have built your career on, or hanging out with a bunch of kids. That is it. That is the whole thing you have ever done in your life. That's it. That's it. That is your contribution to our species. Doesn't matter how many gorillions you have.
You are nothing.
Wonderful. A new
Nothing.
soldier. I mean, subscriber.
And that is what digs at them. Because compared to them, not to fucking slobber on Hassan's dick or something, but he actually contributes to quote-unquote society. Literally. He has made that his purpose in life. To try and nudge people more towards a more progressive and rational view of the world. And that's what pisses them off. Because he's also making almost as much money as them, and yet he's contributing to the betterment of our species. While the only thing they do is click a button, and then a bunch of things move on screen. And then, oh my God, you made money. That's it. That is it. And that's why they're so fucking spiteful. Because they're cucked, okay? Thank you very much, Nonefuli, for the sub with Prime. Thank you very much to Anonymous Gifter. As we all know, whenever we get an Anonymous Gifter, just like compared to Hassan, who gets money directly from George Soros, we get ours from Xi Jinping and the CCPP. And the train has started. Let us try and reach level 5, because as we all know, whenever the train reaches level 5, then it is big enough to fly up in the sky and then land on Netanyahu's house. Thank you very much, Anonymous Gifter, also known as Xi Jinping. We love the CCPP in our mouth here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Let's make that choo-choo go choo-choo-choo-choo. Okay? Because these guys have subs for poisoning the world. Why can't we have subs for trying to unpoison it a little bit ourselves? I would love to be called out at one point for, having subs and that making me not a communist.
And also Kick. This guy, I don't know what his affiliation and involvement with Kick is.
Thank you very much, Guru of Reason, making the choo-choo train going faster. We're putting fuel in it, and all the gooners of Yugopnik Twitch are entering. Shall their destination be Netanyahu's house, or shall it not? We shall see.
It has a percentage.
And you generate hundreds almost of millions of dollars, maybe half of that.
I get paid for exclusivity. I don't get paid
off
of others
no,
losing.
Totally, dude. Totally. Exactly. Also, on top of that, I do wish you well on Kick.
There we go. Thank you for supporting my dream of being called out by cucks such as this for making money while also contributing to society. Thank you very much, Nanashi Makoto, for the gifted sub. And the legendary Bungalow Bill for walking in with fucking 10 gift subs, you fucking savage. I think this is the first, total of 30. Thank you very much, Bungalow Bill, for your 30 subs and the current 10. Very close to level 5 hype train. Very, very close. Seriously, thank you, Bungalow Bill. Thank you very much.
Really do, because I want a competitor.
At this point, the train is rushing at such speeds that it is rising into the sky, being commanded by the great Gooner stands towards their liberation of recreating Jisrael by annihilating the current apartheid project. And the train proceeds to nosedive right into Netanyahu's house, thanks to lurking leftists as we've reached level 5 hype train. Thank you very kindly.
I want a competitor.
Netanyahu is now officially dead in the fictional world of trains on Twitch.
Because I think that would make platforms overall better. But make no mistake, ironically, you started off talking about how you hated how much titty streamers or hot tub streamers and the meta was awful, and now you got on your platform. Now you got one of your main poster boys at Kick showing.
But that was also very funny to me as well. The argument is they are not doing anything. They're just showing their tits. That is why it's fucked up. They're not doing anything. They're making money. Guy proceeds to then gamble on screen and make money. You can't be a guy that just presses a button and makes the roulette go like this, making fun of people for not doing anything and making money. Tits at least make milk. Exactly, on fact. It's like, okay, fucking Newton. If Newton walks into the room and is like, I disagree with this, for they are not contributing to society. They are simply shaking their boobas. Even though Newton be a little like, boobas, I like the boobas. Okay? No, it's a guy that just plays blackjack. Just presses a button. And then shiny things move around. And then convinces kids to go and press buttons with their parents' credit card for shiny things to move around. And compared to them, apparently, tits, boobs, and butts are not contributing to anything in making money.
To minors. So maybe you now recognize the importance of moderation, especially as it pertains to an overall plot.
Gambling addicted gooners who hate sex workers are the weirdest guys, absolutely. That is why here we only support just gooners who respect sex workers and do not gamble. By the way, I've snoozed all the ads. An ad is going to play in 10 seconds. If you want to support the show and not watch ads, please do consider doing so, like the lovely people who previously did the same. Thank you very much.
Wait. Let me respond to that. First of all, me going on rants about titty stream.
But in any case,
Man, I drank a whole fucking... I drank like half a liter of milk today. I don't know. It felt like milk. And thank God that streaming has not advanced to such a high level that you can smell through the thing as well, because holy shit, are my bowels doing crazy things right now. That's so white. Well, no, everybody should drink milk, man. Milk is the shit, okay? I am against the nut lobby, okay? The nut lobby has gotten to you. Put real milk in your goddamn thing.
I mean, it got worse than that. It wasn't just like showing or whatever. It was also obviously like a hotbed for CP and Nazi shit. Here's the clip.
Main poster boy's a kick showing to minors. So maybe you now recognize the importance of moderation.
Fuck yeah, ads have been snoozed automatically. Great. For 5 more minutes. Lovely.
Especially as it pertains to an overall platform.
This was after you being charitable
to minor.
In Nazi shit. Here's the clip.
Main poster boy's a kick showing to minors. So maybe you now recognize the importance of moderation, especially as it pertains to an overall platform.
This was
Oh, fuck me. We are against tits for 18 plus, but we are very much in support for tits for below 18. Thank you, that Bandits, for 100 bits. True Trenge. True Trenge indeed. Level 5, very based.
This was after you being charitable for 4+ hours, trying to re-explain every unfair question and pressure by the two, so you're semi-popping off here is satisfying. Yeah. This was this was edited down to an hour and 20 seconds.
I agree, milk. I love how this is now a conversation in chat. I agree, milk is good, but if you can feel it in your digestion system, you've gone way too far. Listen, we do everything on steroids up in this motherfucker, okay? We overdo everything, okay? People, you Westoids are like, oh, I'll just have a brewski, a beer. I need to have 15. Oh, I'll just have a glass of milk. No, I will have 10, okay? I do not have the audacity to take a noose and hang myself. I will instead do that with overconsumption of things that you should not consume at the rate at which I consume them, okay? What do you think? I'm sucking on this vape harder than your mom ever sucked your dad off. It's called a suicide drive, my brother.
Off here is satisfying. Yeah. This was this was edited down to an hour and 27 minutes by Hasanabe Productions. This is where Train Washed the meme comes from as well. This debate. You warned everyone in that video and Aiden Ross himself about so many things. Yeah, Aiden Ross, I warned many times over about not going down this path of like being a Andrew Tate writer, and now he's gonna turn into this like right-wing demon. I tried personally reaching out to him many times over, and now he is like, now he is
like, you know when you reach a point in your life where you're like, I'm too old for this. I genuinely have never reached it except with Aiden Ross. I don't get it. I just completely don't get it. I completely don't get it. I'm like, to me, it's like just gibberish, like ancient Egyptian fucking symbols popping up on screen and shit. I'm like, the fuck? I watched a bunch of it, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, but he's just sitting there and being like, oh yeah, chatter, yeah. That's it. I'm too old.
So far gone at this point. I tried. My online streaming career is filled to the brim with these.
He's just a deeply stupid person doing nothing interesting. Liar Judas 666. That's what I see. What? Give me something else.
Kinds of moves with like a ton of people every step of the way, either saying I'm being not harsh enough on these guys because I'm cloud obsessed. Members of my own community that leave because they're like, you're so cloud obsessed, you're not being hard enough on these dudes. And then the rest of those communities becoming like incredibly anti-me because I'm calling them out. How dare he call out my favorite content creator? My favorite content creator hates him now, so I hate him as well. So if you're wondering like why
Bro, it's just shapes and colors for the kiddies. But there's not even any shapes and colors. It's just a fucking short guy sitting there and saying cringe shit. Like you have TikTok for the kiddies or whatever. Like actually entertaining stuff. And it goes quick. But they think they're his best friends. But that would like people saying that the kids have a parasocial relationship to Adam Ross also doesn't make sense to me, because why would you like to be friends with someone who, at least in my high school, would be the least cool kid ever?
I have so many haters? Like, this is part of the reason, because I was right often, okay, and consistent.
Short king slander.
often.
No. We respect our short kings here, but only as second-class citizens, right? Short kings are great. They get to live. It's not going to be an apartheid regime with them, but they will be second-class citizens, because let's be honest. The second you allow short people in government, well, you get world wars, my friend.
What is this?
Violence,
Yeah,
I
would
mean,
be-
I
yeah,
mean,
hate
call,
speech
to,
is
call,
part of that.
call to actions or the pseudo call to
If
actions.
you're so fucking stupid that you think I'm not fucking joking, Jesus Christ, leave chat, please.
Actions are really, 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 really bad.
Freedom of speech to justify their hate. It's disgusting. It's completely disgusting to pervert, like, the boundaries of freedom of speech. And
You know what would be funny? You know what's the next cracker discourse? You know what's the next thing? People like Destiny or short boys like this, like just defending short people. Like they make it, they're like, you should be able to say the N-word, but making fun of people's height? How fucking dare you? Oh, no. Short people should step down. Oh, they don't need to. They're permanently shorter.
to try and justify the.
I know a lot of people in the community hated how you were not hard enough to X, though I do think you were hard on X. Yes, there were a lot of people who were like trying to find reasons as to why I wasn't being hard enough on XC. It must be like some secret reason.
Dude, Vucic is tall, and I doubt he is a great politician. No, he's an awful politician, but at least Serbs get to say he's tall, okay? At least they get to say he's tall.
Type Nazi in the transcript,
People
and
come
this is
over
what
thinking
showed?
free speech means hate speech. That is not the case. Do you
Well,
understand?
that's usually why that's usually why they do that. It's like a disingenuous way of framing it. Every platform has, even 4chan has like some speech restrictions on even poll. It's a normal part of the process of like
Wonderful.
regulating
A
any
new
sort of
child
forum or
soldier.
any sort
I
of
mean,
place where people
subscriber.
congregate. But a lot of Nazis will often utilize that as a reason.
I think hate
longer than a
speech
20
should never be allowed. But I do sometimes I feel like sometimes people are personally misconstruing what is a
Thank
freedom
you,
of speech.
Anjuna Beat Farmer. We love our beat farmers in here. Thank you very much for the sub. Welcome, my beautiful child soldier.
To extend it to whether it's
You know, the bolds are quietly tiptoeing out of sight. I have to be careful about bold people slander, because this boy is losing a bit of his shit, okay? So I might have to switch sides eventually. So I'm not shit-talking the bolds, because I might become one of them, right?
That's hate speech.
They
Ban it.
pervert freedom of speech to justify their hate. It's disgusting. It's completely disgusting to pervert, like, the boundaries of freedom of speech and to try and justify the use.
When are we going to hold short women responsible for their physical features they cannot change? No, I was only talking about short kings. Short queens are not getting apartheid because they go for tall kings, okay? They are height traitors, like class traitors, height traitors to their fellow short kings. They always come to the right side of history. Now you get, this is called dialectical materialism, okay? Okay, I'm stopping, I swear.
Speech to try to extend it
a new
to whether
child
it's
soldier.
yes,
I mean,
that's hate speech.
subscriber.
Ban it.
Thank you, Yana Gibashi, for the gifted sub. Is always fucking legend.
Freedom of speech to justify their hate. It's disgusting. It's completely disgusting to pervert, like.
Okay, wait, I want to hear these brilliant arguments again. Wait.
That's usually why they do that. It's like a disingenuous way of framing it. Every platform has, even 4chan has like some speech restrictions on even poll. It's a normal part of the process purpose of like regulating any sort of forum or any sort of place where people congregate, but a lot of Nazis will often utilize that as a reason.
I think hate
longer than a
speech should never be allowed, but sometimes I feel like sometimes people are personally misconstruing what is a freedom of speech to try to extend it to whether it's, oh guys, that's hate speech, ban
They
it.
pervert freedom of speech to justify their hate. It's disgusting. It's completely disgusting to pervert, like, you know, the boundaries of freedom of speech and to try and justify the use of hate speech. It's completely disgusting, and I see it happen all the time.
Technically, hate speech is protected under free speech, just for the record. In the United States of America, at least, it's just that private platforms oftentimes have a different level of restrictions, which is understandable, like I said.
Yeah, by hate speech, I'm referring to the speech that brings, like, harm to others.
Violence,
Yeah, hate speech is part of that.
Call to actions or the pseudo call to actions.
This is like Hassan and these two dudes reminds me of like 50% of all hangouts with like those friends that aren't really friends, more like acquaintances, but you know, they hit you up and you go for some beers, and unfortunately after the fourth beer, because they know you are passionate about, you know, fucking policy or whatever, and they try to talk to you about like cringe shit like freedom of speech and so on. You're just sitting there trying to explain like basic fucking shit, and you're like, but my man, and they talk over you, and you wonder like, am I bad at explaining things to them? No, you're not. They just literally don't understand the words coming out of your mouth. Like their brain doesn't have them in its library.
Really bad. I mean, I think we can agree on that. That's just bullshit.
Train, read the Wikipedia page for socialism before you come. If you want to influence someone and change their mind, you can't just yell at them and talk. People don't respond well to that. In most cases, will retaliate. The way you speak to them is fine. It doesn't matter because both of these people are now firmly within, you know, they're Kick streamers or play a significant role on Kick. They get money from Kick.
And they also, like, again, if you're trying to explain something to your friend and they continuously don't get it, the normal human being thing to do is question if, holy shit, am I not making the point well? That is, your brain is going in that direction because you're a good person and you actually question if your approach is correct. But let me introduce you to something new, which is not supposed to be new, that very often, to them, you sound like you're speaking Chinese. They don't have the vocabulary. They don't, like, their mind is not socially developed enough for them to get what you're trying to, the direction in which you're trying to push them in. It just doesn't get, and you're just talking past each other. That's why there's such a word, such an expression, talking past each other. Finally, an English W, okay? That's it. I explained restorative justice to a group 2 nights ago, and yes, it was like I was speaking in a different language. Yeah. The chasm of information, lived experience, or lack thereof. Thank you, old school hype. Fucking smart people in chat. Framed it much better than me. So don't blame yourself. Don't think, oh, I'm stupid, I'm not explaining this right. Sometimes you might be, because you're really passionate about something, and then you're going to make it sound extreme to them, and then they dunk on you even more. But 70% of the time, they just don't get what the fuck you're talking about.
Stake both, and it is what it is, I guess. I'm thoroughly defeated, dude. I have so many moments like this that have created so much anger and resentment towards me by people who don't even know where that comes from. But I mean, it was conciliatory at the end. Not that they followed through on it. Do you regret doing it? No, of course not. I just don't know how else to deal with it. Like, no, I'm not gonna.
Like, how do you explain the feeling of wetness, of being wet, to Ben Shapiro's wife? I'm kidding. How do you explain, that was just stupid. How do you explain being wet to somebody who's never stepped into water? You just can't. You just can't. They have to have a lived experience or read about extensively what being wet feels like. And then you can have that conversation.
To stop. I don't know how else I would demonstrate my convictions. Most of your W's come like 3 years later. Yeah. It'd be really great if you had someone in your corner and things like this. No. Dude, listen. Coming in my defense in moments like this puts you in the crosshairs of some of the most like diehard, rabid cult-like fan bases that will stop at nothing to make your life I'll never
But then they will turn around and say that Hassan is rabid. And
forget when you said it was suspicious that you were always on the good side of issues, Lamau. Yeah.
But basically.
Let's move into. Somebody told me that this is interesting. It was 1 year ago, though. Why the fuck did somebody add this one? I think I added it. Nah, this is too old now. This is too old. Let me see. What should we talk about on this fine day next? On this fine day. Let's leave the more serious conversations for later. Later, indeed. There you go. Since we talk about Kick, and I'm shit-talking YouTube like fucking crazy, this came out in Bloomberg 3 weeks ago. What YouTube CEO really thinks about YouTube, okay? YouTube, as we call it in my part of the world. If every dad, whenever people ask my dad what does he do, and he's like, he uploads, he pushed a clip of it on YouTube. He uploads to YouTube. Okay, so let's look at this extremely whitewashed probable propaganda video of YouTube CEOs and what they think about their platform. Which, as I've said previously, at this point, when it comes to pushing any sort of progressive politics, feels like YouTube is screaming at you, please don't upload anything. Every single fucking video gets limited to no ads, or it gets copyrighted out of its ass, or it gets limited to 18 plus. It's been a fucking nightmare. And that's why I'm so grateful to you, chat, that you're allowing me to switch sides, baby, and come on this platform. Doesn't mean that I won't upload on YouTube anymore. I'm literally recording a video after this. But yeah. Okay, so what YouTube CEOs really think about YouTube? Adjust the title, my beautiful mods, please, and let's get right into this brainwashing, shall we?
Welcome to San Bruno, California.
Do CEOs think, Stewie? Do you even contribute to any rising stocks, bro? Okay.
Global headquarters to one of the most influential.
If you ain't raising that shareholder value, what are you even doing, bro?
Media companies in the world. YouTube launched in 2005 with a simple video of a guy at the zoo. He's one of the original co-founders.
And that's pretty much all there is to say.
It quickly became a central hub for users to upload and share videos online.
And this, again, is an extension of what I said previously. I'm not going to, fucking shove it in your head and sound like a broken record at this point. But how does something as simple as making videos or streaming videos, etc., turn into something like Kick? Well, the answer is simple. The market economy. Capitalismus, okay?
You bit me. Now, YouTube is an entertainment colossus that's even bigger than Netflix. YouTube, which is owned by Google, has grown into a one-stop shop for your favorite creators. News highlights, TV shows, movies, and even sports games. For the past 15 years, Neil Mohan...
I love myself some sports games. I love myself when I get that sports ball and I kick that ball and it does the sports.
...and has had a ringside seat to the transformation.
Hello.
Hey, Emily. Welcome to YouTube.
Mohan was one of the pioneers of internet advertising, a top executive at DoubleClick, the display ad juggernaut that Google bought in the early days of search. He went on to lead a chunk of Google's massive ad business. He's so valuable that Google reportedly paid him $100 million in stock not to leave. In 2015, he crossed the hallway to become YouTube's chief product officer, making him the point person for everything from developing new products and features to keeping users safe.
Well, does this explain a lot, or does this explain a lot, ladies and gentlemen and NBs? A guy whose entire job is basically finding different ways to push private industry propaganda, also known as advertising, down your fucking throats whenever you want it or don't want it, comes in charge of the product, which is YouTube itself, a product which is originally supposed to be directed at allowing people to express themselves through video format. And what is going to happen? Well, he is going to find the different ways to clean it up so that it is more advertiser friendly, because that is all he knows. Advertising.
He took the reins for the top job from Susan Wojcicki in 2023.
And then they make him CEO. There you go. Like letting an ad guy run a content platform is I don't even have allegories for it. It's like letting a concentration camp officer run an actual standing army. I mean, you can't have standing armies without concentration camps to an extent. But if the only thing that you know about is how to exterminate large populations extremely quickly, that you're going to turn your army into less of a fighting force and more of an extermination force, okay? And when the only thing you know about is advertising, you will hyper-focus on increasing shareholder value of advertisers instead of the very same employees, in this case, content creators of said platform. So it's like letting a grave digger run a nursery. Thank you, Jocula, as always. Very good.
With you.
It's like letting a shredder run a BJ dispensary.
YouTube, even before either I or YouTube were part of Google, when it was above Pizza Parlor right down the street here in San Mateo. And so I have really seen that journey really kind of from me at the zoo to what it's become today.
Now, as CEO, he's tasked with taking the video platform to new heights and tackling its biggest problems: hate, misinformation, its impact on kids, all while dealing with the unprecedented challenges of AI and keeping the world's largest creator economy afloat.
Great job he's doing, right? Star Spangled Shitlog. I love your name, by the way. I mean, he is doing a great job, but just for the advertisers and for the profit motive, right? For the actual owners of the company.
You're now a year into the top job. More than a third of the planet is already watching YouTube. How do you plan to make it even bigger?
Really, the way I think about it is, YouTube's really kind of its own sort of unique thing. We're not a social media platform. We're not traditional media in the sense we're not linear television. We're really sort of our own thing. And so if we live up to that vision, we think we're really still in the early days of our growth story and fulfilling what our mission is, which is to give everyone a voice and show them the world.
Based on Nielsen's latest data, YouTube is now by far the biggest streamer in the world. Netflix close behind, and then everybody else drops way down. Hulu, Disney, Max. But you don't get the awards or the critical acclaim. What more does YouTube have to prove?
I do think that YouTube is getting recognized as that platform on television screens. We just surpassed 1 billion hours of watch time on living room screens. And you mentioned the Nielsen ratings. That is certainly something that when I speak to our advertising partners, the brands that look to build connections with consumers on our platform, they recognize that. And they see it as a place not just of this broad reach, the #1 streaming platform here in the US, but also reach that is engaged. And from a brand's perspective, that is something that they are really recognizing. Like I said, it's still the early days of our journey, but I do start to hear that more and more from our partners.
YouTube is printing money for Google, as I understand it, upwards of $15 billion a year. Where will the future revenue growth come from? Talk to us about that strategy and how it will play
the Bloomberg guy is going to ask her, the Bloomberg lady is going to ask him about potential revenue increase. You know how you can increase your revenue? By fucking supporting the actual people that are creating the content that people consume. You fucking server owners. That's what YouTube is. Servers that people upload to, okay? And an incredibly basic fucking algorithm that then places those videos in front of people. And why do we know it's basic? Because compared to the fucking TikTok algorithm, okay? It's beyond basic.
YouTube today, compared to what YouTube was 5 years ago or certainly 10 years ago, there are an order of magnitude more creators on our platform. We have a breadth of monetization offerings to support this creator economy, not just ads, but subscription business.
Thank you very much, Rhino Jam, for the sub. Welcome, my beautiful child soldier. Yeah, memberships, yeah, where you take 60% of the cut. Yeah. That's how we support the content creators.
That was the $15 billion subscription business across all of Google, but also direct fan funding, like channel memberships and things like that. So there's an enormous amount of scale and complexity in the ecosystem that requires us to.
Have you read Techno-Feudalism by Yanis? No, I ordered the book, but I know what it's about, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. We talk about it here on chat all the fucking time. And YouTube, to an extent, can be referred to as another just a massive server farm, which owns a large segment of the quite literal land on which people who define themselves as content creators can go to in order to grow their trees, in this case, place their content in front of viewers. But if they want to do that, they can either make their own website, which nobody will fucking watch. So they're forced into YouTube, and YouTube will take 50% of ad revenue and 60%, I think, of membership revenue. And also they will be the one who defines what gets watched more and what gets watched less. So in a way, they are more landlords than they are a business. Speaking of landlords and business, Twitch is about to play you ads in exactly 10 to 15 seconds. Do not watch those ads and support the creators directly by becoming a sub through Prime or for $5 a month. Thank you very much.
Rethink how we're going to support that creator ecosystem.
In this video, revealing a step-by-step tutorial on how to start a YouTube channel and how complete beginners are making $100 to $700 a day.
How much money I make? I make around $30,000 per month.
I quit my job in the middle of a pandemic to do YouTube full-time.
But the goal is the same, which is to make our creators successful on our platform in two dimensions, in terms of building an audience, but also being able to earn a sustainable living from our platform.
Google's ad business is a monster, thanks in part to you.
Wonderful.
I mean, you
A new
obviously
child
came in
soldier.
and double-click in the early
subscriber.
days. And,
Thank you, Backs Above, for the sub through Prime. Welcome, my beautiful child soldier.
you know, your roots are in the ad business. But also, it's, you know, stirred controversy about privacy and tracking. What are some of the lessons that you've taken from that you're applying to YouTube?
What we are building for all of us as users.
Listen, they want you to grow your platform because you get more views and then more ads are watched and then they make money. And they pitch it to you as if, you know, we are on the same side because, hey, you use our platform, we push it if it's good, we want you to grow it, you make money, we make money. But in that interaction, you as the content creator are literally doing 99% of the work. The only thing they're doing is hosting. They're just being the landlord, okay? It is arguably the same as the landlord that owns a bakery, owns the place in which a bakery operates, and while the bakery does everything from A to the client getting their croissant at the end of the day, the landlord still reaps, depending on how expensive the actual property is, between 10 to 60% of the actual profit. Just because YouTube is so large, they don't own one place where you can open a bakery. They own all the properties on planet Earth where you can potentially open a bakery. The allegory here is where you can create longer video content, right? They own all of it. Absolutely all of it. So when they own all of it, they can what? They can be the ones that dictate the terms. So what they're telling you, you grow, we grow, it's all good, and that to an extent is true. The more realistic pitch, the more honest pitch is you either grow here or you grow absolutely nowhere. Be happy with how much we give you from how much you generate. Okay? Very different. Very different. If Mao was alive today, he would exterminate the YouTube ownership class
of the platform, because ultimately it is that connection between fans and viewers and creators that is what's ultimately attractive.
Monopolies are actually good for consumers, says everyone who works for a monopoly. Exactly.
To advertisers. So if you're not focused on that connection between creators and fans, everything that you're doing from an advertiser standpoint is sort of moot. So that's the first thing. The second is that monetization, building advertising products, and therefore being able to monetize all this amazing content on YouTube is a long-term game. We're going through that journey, for example, right now in terms of Shorts monetization and actually making Shorts a platform that is not just a great place to build an audience, but to also build a business.
So
yeah, Shorts a platform that literally just copied TikTok, but with more, but because your algorithm isn't good enough, just either promotes absolute garbage shit, the most basic quote unquote content, or right-wing propaganda.
you've been at Google for 15 years. You joined when YouTube was best known for cat videos, and now you're carrying the Super Bowl. Like, did you ever imagine?
Like, unironically, what would the socialist YouTube look like? Completely open source, and the only cut from quote unquote what is generated, even though profit it becomes complicated. But let's say early stages of socialism, the only cut that the platform would take from you is how much it costs for your videos to be hosted. That's it. That's it. That's it.
And YouTube would be carrying the Super Bowl.
I've always felt that YouTube is a great place for fans. I happen to be a huge sports fan myself.
Yeah, fucking boomer, yeah.
And so really since almost the very early days of YouTube, it's been a place where I personally was consuming highlights and more in-depth interviews and things like that. We just concluded season 1.
Thank you very much to Xi Jinping for the donation for our Lord and Master George Soros' abandon us, and we must say thank you to the CCPP, the CCPP in our mouthy mouth. Salute the anonymous gifter, also known as Xi Jinping. Thank you very much. The red sun rises. The red sun indeed rises. By the way, everybody, like this was made by my brilliant mod. Just it will take you half a second to click the link and just click subscribe. Pandas has 19 subs. Come on, let's make it at least 100. Just go and sub to Pandas, okay?
Wonderful.
The link is in the fucking chat. Just literally costs you fucking nothing. Like, just go and sub to Pandas because Pandas is awesome. Costs you fucking nothing. That Pandas. The link is here. Just go, click subscribe. Please, please, and thank you. Still waiting. Go and click subscribe to Pandas. Go and click subscribe to Pandas. Thank you. Also, thank you, Sun Jockey, for the resub. Thank you very much. Where's the link? I literally posted the shit out of the link. There you go, the link. There we go. And yes, thank you, Sun Jockey, very much.
Of NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube. And it really brought together, I think, kind of 2 or 3 really key things that are unique to YouTube about that live sports experience, like ease of use, great features, so product innovation, and most importantly, I would say...
Have you watched this? This is how China is making the classrooms of the future. We'll watch it later, maybe. Thank you.
Actually bringing together creators and that live sports content all in one place, especially for young people. All right, and here's our living room lab.
Awesome.
Hey, literally the platform that is different to other platforms because normal people can come and make stuff on it. Well, we want to bring the mega corporations of sports to it so they can stream on it. Like, the guy's literally saying, let's bring TV to YouTube. Let's bring the one thing that YouTube has never been, which made it successful because it's everyday Joes like myself posting there. Let's bring non-everyday Joes to it. No, because he knows that with sports you can do, like, sports is like perfect for advertising. That's why he wants to push it, okay? Like, that's the fucking explanation. Sports are heaven for advertising. It's literally the most vanilla thing you can advertise on. There's no taboos, like, at all.
The living room at the office.
Indeed, yes.
So do you just sneak in here and check sports
I do.
scores?
Yes.
The multi-view probably helps you.
Yeah, it is a very popular feature in our household. Not just for football, but really every sport.
So you've talked about how
Again, sports. Sports.
the living room is the next frontier for YouTube. What do you mean by that?
Our top creators have grown their watch time on living room screens by something on the order of 400% in the last year, a couple years or so. And so we're seeing enormous growth, and it really comes down to the fact that people come home, they sit down on their couch, and they turn on YouTube, and they want to consume all the content that they know and love on it. Everything from, could be like a 15-hour live stream to a 15-minute.
I'll admit to that. I watch a shit ton of YouTube just on my TV in my living room. I just pop it on. It fucking works. It just works. It's good. Okay, it's good. And the YouTube app is relatively decent on the TV. But it's crazy to get billions to be like, we should try watching videos on the TV now. That is why I'm getting millions upon millions of dollars for this position. The world's greatest con artist, my friends.
Favorite video from one of their favorite creators to shorts.
So in my house, for my kids, YouTube is their first screen.
Yeah.
It almost does feel, though, like you're trying to be the first and the second screen. Can you win at both?
Of course, the context is different. The way that you control it is different. But the use cases that they're looking for are...
These are just fancy words for we cannot necessarily compete. We cannot grow our screen time consumption on the phone because TikTok is kicking our ass on the phone. So we're looking at different types of viewing experiences in which we can expand that TikTok has not already taken over. And that very much so is the TV in the living room. So we do believe we can compete with the likes of Netflix and Hulu when it comes to what you consume while you're sitting on your couch in front of your TV, and that is why we're pushing the TV. That is old corporate Ugopnik fucking translating what this gentleman is trying to say.
Are the same. So it could be watching your favorite creator, like we have Michelle Carre here. She likes to do these sort of very in-depth, quite highly produced documentary-style videos. By the way, she shot this in 4K. So lots of creators obviously know that they have lots of their watch time or increasing part of their watch time on screens like the living room. And so they want it to look beautiful on these big screens as well. So the 4K obviously comes through very clearly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we want them to be making more professional looking content so that we can more adequately compete with the multi-million dollar Hollywood productions without ever actually giving them money for production quality increase. That's an additional part of it's more of a landlord than a classic business experience, because the people that make the content have to pay for it themselves. Well, a Hollywood blockbuster, you have a lot of fucking investors coming in, helping you make the movie, and then you share the profits with them. Well, here you 100. We expect from you to spend your the investment in your project is going to 100% come from you, and then we'll host it on our website and we'll take a percentage. Landlords, fucking love Giannis, man. Like just the slight addition to the interpretation of digital platforms and their interactions with customers changes this. Not specifically customers, even capitalists, which some content creators very much so are. Thank you, Yana Gibashi, the biggest motherfucking donor up in here, together with EcoWaves. Thank you very, very much for the sub.
Oh, she's practicing for the thing.
She literally trained for 6 weeks to do this.
Oh my gosh. And she was in there for...
Sebastian, YouTube. Broadcast yourself with equipment at the level of film studios, or we will not monetize your content, motherfucker.
How long?
I think a few, as long as it took her to get out, but minutes. I can't
even watch.
He 1,000, this dude doesn't watch YouTube. Okay, he might from time to time because he runs the fucking company, but 1,000% pre-watched, okay? He got this video ready because Bloomberg is coming, right? So now I gotta look like I actually watched the stuff. I watched the stuff. And then what does he show? This is bad PR again. Man, I would make such a fucking better capitalist than these dogs, dude. I would find the nichest guy, and I would be like, when the Bloomberg people come, here we have big channels. But the beauty of YouTube is that you can find a very niche thing that you really enjoy. And then I would play a 10,000 subscriber guy and be like, dude, this guy's fucking videos are incredible. He should really grow. And thanks to our platform, he most likely will. And then you look like you're one of the masses, one of the people, in this case, the workers of YouTube, which are content creators, right? Show them crazy hamburger. The best video on YouTube without discussion, okay? MRE reviews.
YouTube has paid out $70 billion.
He shows up, amazing bird show. He shows up to an all hands on deck meeting and just writes crazy frog on whiteboard or crazy hamburger burger.
To creators over the last 3 years.
All my recommendations are poop sock. Okay. Oh, if your YouTube recommends are fucking 4K hyper-produced videos, again, nothing against that creator, then you're not watching YouTube, right? Okay? Let's see what my fucking like this is if you watch YouTube, right? Oh wait, I gotta change the fuck. Now I can't do it on screen. 1 second. 1 second. I don't want my real name to pop up by accident. Yes, it would have. That would have been a fucking fail. There we go. Did I switch the account? Yes, I have. Okay. Okay, but now it's because of, now mine is cringe as well because this is my fucking main one. But okay, what do we have? We have depressionnow.com. We have Fallout Classic is Scary. Then we have some politics. Then we have Space Marines. Then we have to start my own business. This is YouTube. You think I watch shit like this? You think I watch shit like this? No, this is YouTube. Like, please watch this. Then more 40K stuff. Then some Serbian shit about like a grandmother cooking stuff, quite literally. Then Soviet music. Then Fallout New Vegas shit. Okay. Then obviously horrible Rafa stuff. Then video essays on film. Then because I do this job and I have to watch Jordan Peterson, it's giving me even more Jordan Peterson. The thing that men get most wrong when dealing with the women. Then Italy Debt Crisis. Then Cars, of course. Then Bed Empanada. I have no idea why the Jimmy Dore show. Jesus Christ. Then obviously BBC from them. Then again communists. Then again video games. Then again politics. Then again philosophy. Then again video games. Then again politics. Then Cars. Then capitalism bad. 8 Britain. That's nice. Yeah. But you see, like, no ultra crazy overproduced shit. Okay, a bit of music. Yes, I'm a big Cardi B stan. Very good video. Watch it, but not when your parents are around, right? Team Fortress. Why Hardcore Henry is God tier filmmaking. Yeah, film, cars, music, politics. That's if that's not what it looks like, then you're cringe. Okay.
That's even more than Netflix is spending on content. Break that number down for us. And is it paying?
My question is, why do you have premium, you dirty capitalist? Yes, I am champagne socialist, premium haver right up in this motherfucker.
Paying off.
Just to give you a little bit more sort of sense of the scale of it, we have 3 million creators in our YPP program. So that is lots of millions of creators literally earning a living on our platform. Most of that is generated through advertising. Advertising is our primary business, but increasingly our SVOD business, our subscriptions business, of which there's 2 flavors, has grown to be a very meaningful part of our business as well. And so that's YouTube Music and Premium is in that number as well, but we also obviously...
So you Gopnik, you've been playing D&D. Any chance you might get into miniature gaming? It isn't all army level games like Warhammer with hundreds of figures. There's stuff like Space Weirdos, which is design based and skirmish oriented. Absolutely, yeah. I would fuck with it. I'm super open. Just need a friend to introduce me to it properly, and I'd play. Probably enjoy it.
Have a YouTube TV subscription business. And then the third bucket that also...
Don't forget to switch account back so you don't accidentally show it later. Yeah, I did. Now it's switched. I'm not going to show my... Yeah, I need to log out of, like, I have like 3 Gmail accounts there, one of them with my full name. It's so weird.
Gives creators choice in terms of how they earn a living.
He's going to have to sell out to Kick to afford the minis. This is how to get you.
Our platform is something that we call fan funding. And that is the...
Something that should not need to fucking exist. You're making quadrillion, billion, madrillion, babillions, okay? I'm not supposed to say what I'm about to say right now. For only $5 a month, or for free through Prime, you get to support their show because Twitch doesn't want to pay me a fucking salary. Neither does YouTube. If you do that, I will give you silly things like emotes, or you will not have to watch the ad that plays in 1 minute and 45 seconds. This, that will literally feed me and my family, okay, pay my mortgage, would not have to rely on you, the viewers, if maybe they actually treated us as employees with fucking rights, okay? But they don't. So now they offload that to you, not me. They offload that to you, and we get to build a train that falls on Netanyahu's house. That's pretty much it.
The ability to earn revenue directly from your fans. And so it's really all three of those buckets.
You will not get more honest subscription pitches than those of you Gopnik, okay? I'm sorry, but I kind of fucking eat this shit, man.
Buckets, AVOD, SVOD, and fan funding direct to consumer that generate revenue for our creators.
And it's paying off, or time will tell?
I mean, our business.
And the funniest part of that is, even if you do want to support your guy, a large chunk of that will go to the corporation. But Twitch is more based in YouTube, and only 30% is going to go.
Successful when our creators' business is successful. And so we are really pleased with the size of the creator economy, but I remind our teams every day that we're still in the very early journey of what this could grow and become.
Now, YouTube's algorithm can make or break a creator's future. Take us inside the black box just a little. How does it work, and why does it change all the time?
Well, the simplest way to think about the recommendations that you see in your feed, whether it's the home feed or on the watch page, is it is really a reflection of your interests as a viewer. And so when it's changing in the sense of reflecting back your interests or your personalized history of what you are watching on our platform. And that is the simplest way that I can really describe.
So it's our fault the algorithm keeps changing.
Well, because our interests as viewers continues to change. Now, obviously, we are also.
Thank you very much, Gato Con Armor, for the gifted sub to 420 No Scope, greatest names in the history of humanity. I've never had I love how I have to watch 150 socialist videos for them to start pitching them to me. But I watch 2 Jordan Peterson videos, okay? Misinformation on steroids here on stream through my main channel on YouTube. And as you've seen me scrolling, I've already gotten like 5 of them, right? Immediately in the recommend. That is called a susi baka to me, okay? A susi baka. Thank you very much, Dr. Sleepy Fist, for making the thick Spider-Man. I had to put on a Spider-Man costume when I took that photo of that thick ass, okay? One of the greatest bonuses you get as a sub.
Trying to continue to improve that experience for our viewers and help creators get discovered. And so we're not sitting still there. There's an enormous amount of innovation. AI is such a buzzword in our industry today, but one of the areas where we've been investing very heavily in AI for, around a decade is actually in those recommendations that you see when you open up the YouTube app.
A bunch of powerful YouTubers announced recently they were quitting the platform.
I can't keep this up. This is my dream job, and I have a lot of fun doing it. I know I'm incredibly lucky, but a dream job is still a job.
Some of them say they're burned out. Some of them say, they can't deal with the algorithm and all the changes.
I don't love late nights. I don't love the fact that Steph and I have been work first for over a decade.
What do you have to say to some of those people? I think there's this feeling that you're pushing out some of the more homespun creators for more flashy content.
First of all, everybody's decision in terms of what they choose to do really is a personal one. I know lots of creators who've chosen to either take a break or perhaps move to different sorts of pursuits. Some of them have moved from in front of the camera to behind the camera. Some of them have moved to grow different types of businesses out of their YouTube experience. And I think all of that is actually a natural evolution, but actually also really great because it's a decision that they were able to make based on their success on our platform.
Broadly, Shorts does seem to be YouTube's answer to TikTok. Is it working, or are you cannibalizing the OG?
YouTube has to be a place for creators where they can do a 15-second short or a 15-hour live stream. And we have all of those creators on our platform. And so our investment in short...
Yeah. Yeah, and I have fucking San Francisco Bridge to sell you, dude. Yeah.
Shorts is something that I'm very excited about. We have, 70 billion views a day on the platform. The number of creators uploading shorts has grown 50% year on year. We are in a monetization journey where every single month for the last year since launching our monetization program on shorts, creators' earnings have grown every single month. So lots and lots of success around shorts, but it's still very, very early days.
So you've done a few of these shorts.
Yeah, I have.
What's the secret to a good short?
Well, the biggest thing that really comes across in all of our videos, whether they're shorts or not, is just be yourself. I'm Chris, and I'm going to be your videographer.
Why are you still talking?
You need to have a hook. So the slide, of course, is definitely something that I think will draw attention. So, just make it all the way down.
Hi, everyone. I'm at YouTube headquarters, and I'm going to shoot my first short with the man in charge.
Hey, everyone. I'm Neil.
And we're going to go down this giant slide together.
Yeah, I really love this slide.
Okay, that was kind of funny. That was kind of funny. This is like a dude telling a wage laborer that not making money is a choice. No, it's actually based. It's based, okay? And of course they have a slide. How about you like pay for healthcare instead of having a slide? I don't know.
All right, ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh. Okay. 1, 2.
I think I got a call.
No!
Hello?
Based businessman had call.
You chickened out. All right, what do we do next?
Well, you got one last thing, which is you should shoot an outro.
Okay, like, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Dr. Sleep if it's chat. Remember, work can be your second and third space. Do everything at work. Bring your baby. Take care of it right here on the desk as you exploit the content creators of the world. You just know what a fun work environment it is when there's a slide, but you need a helmet to use it.
You got it. Perfect.
You're gonna make this go viral, right? So many kids these days want to be creators. But you and I both know it's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah.
And is it worrying at all that everyone wants to be a YouTube creator?
So first of all, speaking as someone who doesn't have any creative talent, it is hard. It is amazing
hard.
what these creators do and how they can connect with their fans. I think that it's like any other sort of creative decision that a young person can make.
The Mr. Beast effect.
We just landed in Antarctica and we're gonna survive the next 50 hours here.
It seems like everyone's trying to copy him now. Do you worry at all about the homogenization of YouTube?
There are lots of creators, obviously, that try to learn from his success, but there are 500 hours of content uploaded to our platform every single day. Every niche interest, there are 500 hours of content uploaded to our platform every single day.
Only? That sounds like too little. Only 500 hours every single day. So when that guy that makes a 10-hour video is uploads, he's like, I just uploaded fucking well, 2%, 3% of the entire. I think he gaffed. 500 an hour, maybe 500 hours an hours, but or 500 a minute. 500 a minute is a bit too much. You think 500 a minute? Jesus fucking Christ, man.
Every niche interest, every learning pursuit that you want to have, every musical genre. So in terms of being able to find, the particular niche that you're interested in that moment that you're interested in, I'm never worried about it being, homogenous across all of YouTube.
Screen time is the #1 thing parents seem to be dealing with right now.
You're not worried, but that's exactly the direction you wanted to go into because you wanted to be a fucking Netflix #2, okay?
Wonderful, a new child soldier, subscriber.
Thank you very much, Hurdia Squash, for the prime sub. Welcome, my beautiful child soldier, to the great Gunnar army who will one day reclaim Israel for itself.
And studies are showing that screen time is linked to mental health issues in kids as young as 3. Like we're talking about anxiety, depression.
Yeah, they have 2 different kinds of videos, Mr. Beast and divorced dads being racist. What's this divorced dads being racist? Can you send me a link?
As a dad, how do you grapple with these issues?
It's something that, as I'm sure in your home, in our home, my wife and I talk about this.
The 2 genders of YouTube, divorced dads and what was the other one? Mr. Beast light videos.
On a regular basis, we have,
We watched the Jordan Peterson video yesterday. That's what you're referring to. Yeah. It's either a divorced dad or a guy or a dad that can't make his wife wet. My dad's feed is literally Fox News, Nazis, and divorced dads also addicted to Fox News and Nazis. Oh, man. Oh, love your dad, dude. You must have had a great fucking upbringing, man. The fuck you doing in this chat? Oh, fucking class. Oh.
Kids across a broad range. And I think the couple things I would say, first of all, obviously every
Jordan Peterson is the Mr. Beast for divorced dads. Oh, I love you, fucking schmucks.
Household has to make their own decisions about these things. The second, I do think that at least in our household, we make different decisions depending on kind of the age and development of all three of our kids.
It's not just screen time that has captured the public's attention. The frenzy around AI and ChatGPT has put a spotlight on big tech firms scouring the internet for data to build the most advanced generative AI models. Google made one of the earliest breakthroughs way back in 2012 after it trained an artificial brain to...
He was a great dad. That's just what YouTube feeds him now. We don't understand. We don't use terrestrial TV. Yeah, I'm fucking around. He's probably great.
Spot pictures of cats using...
My dad's like, my dad's divorced, and when you go into his house, he's got none of that political shit. He's kind of relatively progressive. It's very weird. But now, because he's living his bachelor life and so on, he just has one of those 3-hour playlists. But it's not a playlist, but it's on in one video of like house music or jazz music or rock and roll, whatever he likes. But so it's a playlist, but none of it is the actual music video. It's just a bunch of hot women, like either on the beach or in like some fancy restaurant walking in high heels. You've seen the fucking playlist, right? That is all of it. That is his entire, when you open it, that is his entire YouTube thing. Right? And you just plays it, and it plays for 3 hours in the background in the apartment, and you're just like, Dad, I came here to talk to you about, I don't fucking know, how you're proud of me, not to get horny, man. God damn it. No, he doesn't go to it. He's just like hot women, like hot, like the guy's an actual alpha, okay?
Millions of YouTube videos. Microsoft-backed OpenAI recently unveiled Sora, its text-to-video generator, which uses written prompts.
Like compared to Fox News Nazis and divorced dads talking about Fox News and Nazis, I think my dad, for his age, went really well. Like, it's really good. I'm happy what it looks like, okay?
To make high-def videos. Open it.
Alpha activity. Have hot women just do not go into them. No, this is playing in the background, man. It's great.
AI has yet to confirm just how it trained its own AI systems, but reports have alleged YouTube videos were used to train its models, violating the company's terms of use.
Wait, what?
Microsoft-backed OpenAI recently unveiled Sora, its text-to-video generator, which uses written prompts to make high-def videos. OpenAI has yet to confirm just how it trained its own AI systems, but reports have alleged YouTube videos were used to train its models, violating the company's terms of use. OpenAI didn't respond to a request for...
Holy shit, I can't wait when the video generator thing, whenever it writes guy with mask, half face, doing things, it just constantly Yugopnik. It's like... all the AI-generated videos of robbers and terrorists, it's always my face, like auto-generated to eternity. And then my mom or dad who don't understand AI calling me up, like, I just watched a video of you stabbing a guy. I'm like, yeah, mom, I do many businesses. I am a successful son that does many creative endeavors. Da, evet, yakşamar, çok güzel.
Comment on the allegations.
What was your reaction when you saw OpenAI's Sora demo?
The technology, what's really amazing about this, and our teams talk about this in our product reviews on a regular basis, is that there are new developments that are happening like almost on a weekly, monthly sort of basis. And when I think about, again, just from a YouTube perspective, the way that you should expect AI to manifest itself in the product is through creator tools. And as a creator, honestly, whether they're powered by AI or not is sort of besides the point. They should allow you to do things that otherwise you could only imagine in the past, or something that might have taken you 9 weeks to do, maybe you can do in like 9 minutes or 9 seconds.
OpenAI CTO Mira Murati was asked what data was used to train Sora.
Well, let's not address guys that already mass steal content and then monetize it like crazy because your algorithm fucking sucks, potentially using advanced AI in, I don't know, 10, 15 years to just create algorithmic recreation of thousands of different content creators, but just with a different face, so that they can push out content at lightning speeds as compared to people who actually put in the labor hours themselves, and slowly overtaking by flooding the entire algorithm and all your server farms. Let's not talk about that potential problem. Even though if a random fucking masked guy in a chair just thought of them, you definitely did.
And she didn't give a clear answer.
What data was used to train Sora?
We used publicly available data and licensed data.
So the company I've been working for at least for the past 6 years just partnered with an AI company, and we were rebadged. I'm worried. Yeah, you should. Depending on your position, though. The last company I worked for just fired like 25%. Around a month and a half before I stopped working for them, after they managed to switch many, let's call it, many tasks which needed humans with just simple processing AI. That's always fun.
Videos on YouTube?
I'm actually not sure about that.
So,
What data was used to train Sora? And she didn't give a clear answer.
what data was used to train Sora?
We used publicly available data and licensed data.
So, videos on YouTube?
I'm actually not sure about that.
Oh, we love private property and intellectual rights, brothers and sisters. But as long as they're owned by large corporations, they can sue us, brothers and sisters. Fucking Misha from Chelyabinsk, fucking making edgy videos about talking potatoes in his fucking bathroom. I don't think he's gonna be suing OpenAI, brothers.
Do you believe that YouTube was used to train Sora?
Well, I don't know. I think first you would have to, I guess they were asked, but you'd have to ask them. I have seen reports that it may or may not have been used. I have no information myself, and so I'd encourage you to ask them directly.
If it was being used, would that be against your policy?
It would be. We have a clear terms of service that when again, from a creator's perspective, when a creator uploads their hard work to our platform, they have certain expectations. One of those expectations is that the terms of service is going to be abided by. And
it's literally, other than being a server farm, your only job. Protect our shit. And now you don't know, well, whatever. I'm being a hater at this point, but
our terms of service does allow for YouTube content, some YouTube content like the title of a video or the channel name or the creator's name to be scraped, because that's how you enable the open web for that content to show up and maybe show up in other search engines or what have you and be available that way. But it does not allow for things like transcripts or video bits to be downloaded. And that is a clear violation of our TOS. And so those are the rules of the road in terms of content on our platform.
And how does it work internally? Like, is Google using YouTube to train Gemini?
Google uses YouTube content really in accordance, again, back with those terms of service or individual contracts that we might have with creators or uploaders to our platform. Lots of creators have different sort of licensing contracts in terms of their content on our platform. Lots of rights holders do. And so some portion of that...
Oh, yeah. Dude, they'll just adapt. They'll adapt. They'll change the contract and make everybody re-sign it. And it's going to include a small clause which allows content to be mass processed. They'll always use the word mass processed by AI. And then they'll just use it. That's the next step. If you don't think that, well, I have a fucking bridge in San Francisco to sell you like always.
YouTube corpus might be, or maybe being used for those models, but it's going to be in concert with whatever the terms of service or the contract that creator has signed before uploading their content to YouTube.
When I first saw Sora, I was definitely taken aback. Like, misinformation is already rampant. Are we staring down the barrel of a future where we won't know what's real and what's fake? Like, is this the end of truth?
He's been dead for a while. You work for Bloomberg. For Bloomberg. God, man. She has a really nice sweater, though. She has a really nice sweater.
We know it.
It's certainly a very, very deep question. It's a question that I do get from stakeholders periodically. I would say that we have to have two key aspects of our approach here. First is this technology is here. We can't hide from this technology. And I am just, of my experience.
She could play tennis in the country club with that sweater. Yo, don't give capitalists good-looking shit, okay? Don't give rich people stuff that's kind of cute and say, oh no, only rich people get to wear it. Never fucking do that. Never fucking do that. They've already taken the suit. I never wear a fucking tie. Literally because ideologically, I don't want to fucking be associated with those dogs. Okay? But ties are kind of cool. But now it's just their thing. Don't let them take more stuff. It's ideology.
In terms of these types of big paradigm shifts, whether it was, the birth of the internet or, the shift from desktop to mobile, is that it's going to lead to many, many amazing opportunities. Having said that, this is also technology that if it's in the hands of bad actors will reduce the cost of producing, in your example, deep fakes or misinformation to zero or very close to zero. So we have to be cognizant of that. AI is going to play a really big role in actually detecting that type of content, but also all the amazing trained professionals we have all over the world that are reviewing this content. So all of those things have to come in together, especially with, elections coming up, all over the world.
Yeah, we're going to have, what do you call it? Like, you will have to copyright your face, turn it into private property. Let's commodify faces. If you do not commodify your face by turning it into intellectual property, then AI can legally use it and create content of its own. More capitalist solutions to more capitalist problems. Here we go, baby. Talking about capitalist solutions to capitalist problems, ladies, gentlemen, and MBs. Welcome to yet another ad pitch in exactly 40 seconds. Ads, capitalist problem. Subscriptions, capitalist solutions for $5 a month or for free through Prime. Do you want to be cucked by capitalism, or do you want to lie to yourself that you're not being cucked by capitalism by supporting your 7th favorite creator, Yugopnik, on Twitch? The choice is yours for $5 a month for free through Prime. Get one or donate. The choice is yours. The most honest ad pitches on this platform, I swear.
It's a record election year. More than half the world is voting. How is Google going to ensure fair information and free elections, especially in the age of AI?
This is our top priority. I think it's going to come back to a few things here. First, we have a new policy in place that is requiring labeling of this sort of content. We won't just stop there. We have... when people are looking for election-related information on our platform.
There you go.
A new child soldier. Subscriber.
Thank you, my beautiful child soldier, Cactus Floor, for choosing the greater path.
We raise up content that comes from channels that have a history of authority. And again, authority not determined by me, but by third-party raters all over the world that evaluate content.
No, I mean, I'm joking that I'm your 7th favorite socialist content creator because I am your first, your number 1, because all the others are revisionist dogs, which shall be shot in Minecraft. I'm kidding. TOS, I'm fucking joking. So I am the only socialist content creator. Everybody else isn't. They're just pretending to be. Therefore, I am number 1. Haha, checkmate. Checkmate, liberals.
From these channels. We have an intelligence desk that is looking for coordinated deceptive practices, state actor deceptive practices that might be using some of this technology. YouTube is an open platform where a lot of that electoral process plays out.
I am the only legitimate Marxist, Leninist, Maoist, Trotskyist, accelerationist, chalk-eating mouth breather in the world. All the rest are goddamn Trotskyites.
Also one where we're doing our best to make sure that this type of technology doesn't allow for misinformation to get distributed.
I hear that you're the kind of leader that, you keep cool.
The more subs you have, the more socialister you are.
A crisis. Like, what does it take to do that? Especially at a company like YouTube where, there's a lot going on the platform every day.
My wife jokes that my nickname is Even Keel Neil, and that's just kind of how I've always been. So, and I just, I think from my standpoint, it's about keeping perspective, the bigger picture in mind. And so being grounded in a set of core principles about what truly is important for the business, what's right for our users, allows me to stay calm and actually help the teams make those types of decisions.
So where does Even Keel Neil want YouTube to be in 5 years?
I want to be a place where we are the best place to create, to share, to watch a video that you can think of, regardless of where you are in the world or what device you're on. That's my vision.
Yeah, too long, didn't listen. Thank you, bye. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. The economic model freedom map is nonsense. Let's watch this. I don't even know what this map is. Hakeem the fucking legend making based videos about topics I didn't even know were topics. Okay, mods, please adjust the title. Put the video in pin. Thank you very much. I love you very much. So let's switch from listening to a CEO to listening to a commie, shall we? My fellow brother who is stuck
Today-
in JT's prison basement. Okay.
Today we'll be talking about a map. Which map? Well, the one and only Freedom Burger Institute's Same Map as Always map. Jokes aside, it's the so-called Economic Freedom Map, which is meant to visually represent the level of economic freedom experienced across different countries. How fun. They must definitely have a valid approach to data and methodology then, right? Of course not. It's free market garbage from the Fraser Institute and the Heritage Foundation. These are the organizations that publish the data.
We're going from watching the CEO of YouTube over to the CEO of communism. Hakim Hasbullah Burger, man.
Map is based on, and both are rabid free market conservative, quote-unquote, think tanks that publish loads of neoliberal nonsense for the purpose of influencing economic policy in the US and abroad. The Economic Freedom of the World, published by the Fraser Institute, and the Index of Economic Freedom by the Heritage Foundation are basically the same thing roughly, so for time and simplicity, I'm going to critique them together. Why are we talking about them exactly?
I mean, why do they call them think tanks? Because they think about how to get you more tanks. Because they think about how to sell more tanks. Because they tank whenever they try to think. Kill me, please.
Well, it's not uncommon to mention a particular fault of capitalism, only to be met with a tired rebuff in the form of, oh, well, the countries practicing all the capitalism are doing so well. Clearly the issue is that Bangladesh isn't capitalist enough, or any other country example.
No, but he read it wrong. Oh, well, the countries practicing all the capitalism are doing so well.
Wonderful.
Clearly, the
Child
issue
soldier,
is that
subscriber.
Bangladesh isn't capitalist enough. Indeed, brother. Thank you very much, SP404SX, for becoming a fellow child soldier.
They'll claim that the issue is not too much capitalism, but in fact too little, and use this map to illustrate that. Not enough free markets, too much state intervention, too many safety nets or subsidies, the list goes on and on. Before we delve further, let's examine where these fantastic and impartial organizations that make these indices get their funding, since they exert such a heavy hand over American policy. Joseph Coors, yes, that Coors, I had no idea, was an early supporter and instrumental in the Heritage Foundation's formation and—
What the fuck? The beer guy? Jesus Christ, the beer guy. How can you be a beer guy? Every day we stray further from God. When even ethanol can't make you based, Jesus Christ.
And growth, with significant donations in 1972 and 1980, with additional undisclosed support throughout his life. So-called charitable foundations, such as the Sarah Scaife Foundation, provided over $15 million from 2002 to 2014, while another of these glorified tax havens, the Braidley Foundation, contributed over $3.5 million between 2002 and 2014. The Charles Koch—
To bring up a topic I always bring up, like, this is not a lot of money to these ultra-rich fucks, right? It's always funny to me how both academics, in the case of think tanks, but also politicians, in the case of, large lobby donors, sell their souls for, like, not a lot of money. Like, with AIPAC, we're talking about, like, 100 mil, 150 mil. And obviously, you're going to use the argument, hey, that's only the money we know about that goes over the table. We don't know about the money under the table. But what, even if it's double? That's not, like, these people make trillions, man. Trillions. If they give you a couple of mil and you're like, yes, I will use the fact that I have a PhD to quite literally sell my soul and pitch more Bangladeshi children in copper mines. Like,
Foundation likewise makes an appearance.
Because, like, at least, like, ask for more money if you're gonna be a fucking demon.
Contributing hundreds of thousands of dollars to both the Heritage Foundation and the Fraser Institute. I'm sure their donation to these particular think tanks has nothing to do with their interests and political positions. So-called—
There you go. Guy is fucking 60 billion heavy. My boy is 60 billion heavy. And he's like, it's like, for him, it's like me giving one of you chatters like $5. Like $5 for you to spend the next 10 years running around other chats and screaming, yo, go watch Ugopnik Twitch. He's like the only non-revisionist communist. All the other ones are unbased. Like, the fuck? Also, the Koch Foundation. We love that, don't we?
charitable organizations, such as the climate change denying Aurea Foundation, got in on this too, donating over $1.6 million since 2006. Corporate donations likewise show up, with ExxonMobil contributing $50,000 in 2012 to support the Heritage Foundation's advocacy for deregulation of oil and gas companies, and $120,000 to the Fraser Institute for anti-climate change programs during 2003.
Again, 120K. Like, if you're an academic, that's how much you make in a fucking university. And you don't have to sell your soul. A year, I mean. Like again, I'm not adding any additional, like, advanced fucking dialectic analysis of this. The only thing I'm saying is, really, for that money? For that money.
Remember that these are direct corporate donations and don't include donations from industry magnates such as Joseph Coors or Peter Munk, the latter being the founder of the Aurea Foundation mentioned earlier, who owes his wealth to owning a lucrative gold mining company and peddling anti-climate change nonsense. One of the primary criticisms economists have of both indices is their narrow and biased definitions of economic freedom. It's easy to assume that these indices would highlight countries where people have greater control over their economic lives and the institutions that govern them.
The greatest lie the capitalist ever told you is, well, all of it. Okay? All of it. When you live in a system, you do not exist in a bubble. It informs all your values and the way you see pretty much everything. It switches your moral compass. It adapts it. There is, except for like very core animalistic principles, there is not much that informs one's moral compass or one's idea of normalcy. So the material reality in which you live in does so. But the capitalist was never content with simply you adopting bourgeois mentality, as Gramsci calls it, right? No, he also actively invested large swaths of money, in this case, not a lot of money, into also additionally brainwashing you with an army of traitor academics and shills. So it's a constant, as they call it, losing battle, because you're both fucked. Because again, you live in so-called bourgeois society, you live in capitalist society, so you start thinking like a capitalist, even though you're exploited by a capitalist. In Zoomer terms, like you're a temporarily disadvantaged billionaire, right? But then on the other side, they're also investing money into like actively brainwashing you. And that's why it's a losing battle.
These indices don't do that. Instead, they focus on corporate and so-called entrepreneurial freedom, often ignoring social and political freedoms, which are major factors in quality of life, unsurprisingly. The Fraser Institute, Heritage Foundation, and other right-wing think tanks equate economic freedom with minimal government intervention, low taxes, deregulation, the usual. These policies are better known as neoliberalism, a topic which I've covered in another video here. This approach ignores what are clearly better measures of economic freedom, such as healthcare outcomes, literacy and access to schooling, social welfare and labor rights, and other factors which are necessary for a complete and solid understanding of a country's economic health. Also, TLDR, but neoliberals...
Jesus Christ, chat. Toasty Android is a... God. Oh, remember what we read earlier, for those of you who have been... The Ride-On King, President for Life of the Republic of Prussia, Alexander Yugoplutinov. Yugopnik, more like Yugoridnik. It's pretty good. Toasty Android, you're fucking legend. It's pretty good. If you have any of this like over the top shit, please like at me on my Discord server or whatever. I would love to use it as like the picture to pitch the stream. Maybe I'll even print some of this shit. Legend. It was Slippy. I just added the Yugo. Okay, thank you, Dr. Sleepy, then. Thank you, Dr. Sleepy Fist. Fucking legend as well. Unhinged.
As bad as a means to increase profits for the narrow sliver of people at the expense of the rest of the
Blast
population.
off meme. That's the word. Jesus, I'm a fucking boomer, man. I have no idea how my beautiful mods even tolerate me at this point. Like half of the shit that they tell me, they're like, yo, upload this emote to this like server of the like emoji emotes. I'm like, please say that in normal English. You speak Serbo-Croatian maybe?
Watch the video.
Jugomir Putler.
Back to the video in just a second. Let's hear from today's sponsor.
Jugomir Putler, brat.
World of Warships. World of Warships is a highly detailed game in which you can command a massive naval fleet featuring some of history's most iconic war vessels in an exciting and dynamic world. Recreate historic battles, experience game-altering weather effects that make each battle unique and require changes to the tactics you use, and immerse yourself in the journey of naval history. With over 40 maps, more than 20 ports to choose from, and hundreds of ships designed based on historical documents and actual blueprints from the first half of the 20th century, each battle will make you feel like you're actually there. With a large active community and a steady flow of new missions, game updates, and events weekly, there's always something new to experience. Join clans to compete in competitive game modes and talk with fellow wargamers on the official Discord or the forum. What are you waiting for? Learn exciting naval history and engage in dynamic battles by clicking on my link in the description and using the code DDAY80th, all caps. With the 80th anniversary of D-Day happening this June, join the battle as we commemorate the heroes of D-Day in World of Warships with a special 80th anniversary event. Engage in epic naval warfare as you relive one of history's most pivotal moments on the seas. Command new legendary vessels, strategize with your fleet in new missions, and dominate the waves in thrilling battles inspired by the events of June 6, 1944. Participate in exclusive in-game events, unlock commemorative rewards, and by using my link in the description, get 200 doubloons, 7 days premium time, 1 million credits, the choice of the following exciting ships after 15 battles.
You could hear that he was laughing a bit when he needed to say doubloons. Doubloons. He's right there reading the script and he's like, Jesus Christ, I somehow gotta finance this communist propaganda.
And 3 special D-Day missions after 9 battles that will only be available for a limited time. Again, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click the link in the description and get started. Thanks to World of Warships for the sponsorship. The self-and-pay might add fairly, which is highly appreciated. Alright, back to the video. The methodology behind these indices raises eyebrows amongst serious economists. The Heritage Foundation's index is built around 10 components, among them being trade policy, fiscal burden, government intervention, and labor market policies. Unsurprisingly, it penalizes countries for implementing laws that protect workers and the environment. For example, the US was marked down for passing Sarbanes-Oxley, a weak law intended to improve corporate accountability by having them maintain basic record-keeping. This focus on minimizing government intervention, regardless of the intervention's purpose, ignores the many ways in which regulation actually helps businesses and their products, which is less important than helping people and the environment, of course. It also ignores how it's only government interference if it negatively affects businesses. US imperial foreign policy abroad for cheaper raw materials isn't considered government interference. The Fraser Institute's index relies heavily on subjective assessments and data that can be easily manipulated to fit a particular narrative. And let's be honest, they're doing exactly that. The index uses change in government spending rather than actual spending levels to assess fiscal burden, leading to absurd conclusions. For example, Sweden and Denmark, despite their extensive welfare states, are rated as having a lower fiscal burden than the US. Both indices only look at top income and corporate tax rates, ignoring effective tax rates and other forms of taxation, which ends up misrepresenting the actual tax burden faced by citizens and, to a lesser extent, businesses. Speaking of misinformation, the indices' flawed approach caused them to make ridiculous factual inaccuracies. One especially egregious example was the incorrect reporting of Denmark's top income tax rate as 26.5% instead of the actual 54%. Further silly distortions when it comes to industrial policy or informal markets makes the indices ranking terrible tools for guiding any regulation. They fail to account for the positive role of industrial policies in stereotypically hyper-capitalist countries.
Yeah, but that's intentional. They intentionally misconstrue information so that people in so-called positions of power who would have anyways pushed for these policies, more free market policies obviously, can now do so while stating that it is also academically supported. That the only reason a think tank exists is for the so-called scientific world to adapt to a new type of post-truth, where it no longer avoids giving sources for their claims, but instead invents new sources so their claims can be perceived as academically correct. The market adapts to everything. It's kind of beautiful in its disgust. Thank you very much, Coniteus. Yay! Thank you very much, my friend. Welcome back.
Countries like Taiwan or South Korea, where government
My beautiful child soldier.
intervention has been the reason for significant economic growth. Instead, these indices penalize countries with large informal sectors, suggesting that these countries are less free due to government restrictions, and which in turn is driving some activities underground. This unfairly biases the indices against developing countries, which often have significant informal economies not based on so-called illicit or harmful substances, meaning they're selling flip-flops, not drugs. While these criticisms do a decent job driving the point home that these indices are terrible at what they claim to do, another glaring issue with them is the weak correlation between these indices and economic growth. For example, fast-growing economies like China and Vietnam rank low despite their impressive growth rates. Conversely, some of the top-ranked countries like Estonia experience relatively slow economic growth. I mentioned in passing earlier that these institutions are big on neoliberal policies, so it probably won't surprise you that this ideological bias is very palpable in these indices and is their biggest flaw. They promote a very specific set of policies such as low taxes, deregulation, minimal government intervention, all under the guise of so-called economic freedom. This bias is evident in how they weigh different components in their model and their emphasis on specific economic outcomes. As an example, the exaggerated fear of moderate inflation and their emphasis on 0% inflation as an ideal are not supported by empirical evidence, but then again, neither is most of what neoliberal fanatics think. Okay, so the map and its underlying data are bad, less than useless, and or actively harmful. I think that's pretty clear now. What should we use instead in that case? There are quite a few, unsurprisingly. The Human Development Index, the Global Peace Index, the World Happiness Report, the Global Competitiveness Index, the Social Progress Index, the Legatum Prosperity Index, the Ligma Prosperity Index, stupid, the Environmental Performance Index, amongst others. Taken together, these indices prove...
Of course, Hakeem is doing memes from 2012. My favorite boomer, man. If you ever call me a boomer and you don't call Hakeem boomer, I'm going to lose my fucking shit. I swear to God, man. The boy is literally permanently stuck in the fucking 60s.
Everything I and other leftists have been saying for years.
You think it's easy to do the deprogram with literally the two most brilliant people I've ever met? No, it is very difficult because I had to live through a whole year where the main joke, arguably the only joke those two schmucks could ever think up, is these nuts. I'm talking about 2022, 2023. These nuts. That was their main thing. This is what I have to work with, okay? Two of the most brilliant people I've ever met. Maybe the most brilliant people that I've had the opportunity to actually work with. Not maybe 100%. Two of the most brilliant dudes. And the best joke they can think of is these nuts. For a whole year. And after they watch this, they're going to go back and restart it. So please nobody clip this or send it to them, okay? Jesus Christ, you know? God gives something, takes something away. And with the two of them, media relevancy or meme relevancy, God didn't take away, never gave it to them. Like, they're going to be talking about Gyat and Riz in 10 years. And the show will continue for another 10 years. And in 10 years, you will tune in on the Deprogram podcast and you will hear them talk about Gyat and Riz, rizzing something up. I'm sure.
These organizations that publish these reports tend to be very pro-maintaining the status quo, and even they can't make it look good, or even okay. Global North nations such as Norway, Switzerland, the Netherlands, Australia, and Canada consistently rank at the top of these indices. This is due in large part to their relatively more robust institutions, quote-unquote. There's a reason for that, but we'll get there soon. Social safety nets, also a reason for that. High standard of living, see the previous note. And environmental policies, of dumping their waste in the third world, but I'm getting ahead of myself. On the other hand, the bottom rankings are often populated by countries from the global south, including Congo, Chad, Afghanistan, you get the gist. Let me paint you a picture. Country A colonizes Country B. Country A enslaves or indentures the local population, exploits their natural resources, squashes
Yeah, becomes extremely wealthy thanks to that, and then we point to the exploitative country as a utopia that is developing incredibly because it's more civilized, and we talk shit about the literal colonized nation from which sometimes in the past its own population is being snatched up and sold as slave labor. I say in the past because nowadays we have advanced civilizationally, and it's no longer states taking people as slaves and transporting them across the ocean. Now it's private enterprises domestically paying for militias to run slave camps where we say they're not slaves because we pay them a fictitious sum of like 1 cent per hour. Slave societies, but with iPhones. I love that was perfect how it went up right as I pushed it. Oh, god damn it.
At independence and extracts massive profits in the meanwhile, which subsidize the quality of life in Country A. Eventually, Country B manages to become independent only to find itself in a global economic system created by Country A and countries like Country A. Country B is forced to pay back colonial taxes in return for their independence. It is forced to take out loans from Country A, which it has to pay back at extortionate interest rates, as well as having its politics still manipulated by Country A and its ilk. Country B will never truly become independent at this rate, all for the profit and benefit of Country A. If this sounds like a ridiculous example, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but this is the case of Haiti and France, and practically all the rest of the imperial periphery. The point of debt cannot be understated. Remember how we mentioned that these indices are in support of free market policies? Well, what kind of policies?
They would include the Balkans and the Ottoman Empire here, but Turkey's a shithole, so they can't. Sorry, I will always find a reason to just take a poop on the Turks, okay?
Do you think are recommended to impoverished, or better yet, overexploited nations from the IMF and World Bank? Free market policy.
Turkey somehow be like, ancient empire that lasted for 5 centuries, colonial empire, and also be like, imperial empire at least, and also be like, no, we actually kind of suck now. But Britain is a great example as well, like Jesus Christ.
Policies in return for much needed loans. Sell state assets, privatize everything under the sun, including railroads, healthcare, basic sanitation facilities, etc. Remove subsidies, sell off all that's worth.
By the way, I love Turks, Jesus Christ.
Worth anything to wealthy foreign conglomerates.
Portugal as well, yeah.
The selling off of state assets then prevents
Portugal, well, obviously Portugal and Britain did much more fucked up stuff than the Ottomans, I'm not saying, even though the Ottomans probably would if they had the capacity, but that's a different conversation. Any empire would. But yeah, the Portuguese, the British nowadays, Turkey, which other country that we can point to and be like, what? You were an empire? Really? What?
countries of ever really paying off their debts, since all the profitable sectors and resources are not owned by said country anymore. The ideological game crumbles right then and there. The policies these indices support, the same policies that supposedly have resulted in the prosperity of the global north, are the very same policies that further impoverish the global south and maintain them in...
The Ottomans were also responsible for the Armenian genocide, absolutely, but that is extremely important to note. But also for almost 5 centuries before that, they literally imperialized like over 100 different peoples and nations, and forcibly either converted them, used them for their slave armies, or did smaller versions of mass genocide. So, you know, we don't have to, like, obviously what they did to the Armenians is the worst aspect of it, but in 4 or 5 centuries, you do a lot of fucked up shit as any empire.
The same debt trap. It's a game they know is bullshit, but they maintain because the true purpose isn't to quote-unquote raise developing countries out of poverty, but to keep those same countries' natural resources and labor cheap and ripe for exploitation. It's colonialism in a new dress. This, of course, also overlooks how for many global north countries, for a very long time, free market policies were explicit.
And again, the very brilliant thing that they do is they don't really need the local state to operate domestically in their colonies. They can just send their private enterprises, which in the commonly understood idea of the free market international economy are absolutely allowed to come and buy up all your shit. Basically what I'm saying is, why do you need to send British troops somewhere to occupy a land where you can send a British company that can just buy that land? And then ironically, the colony itself is expected by the international community to protect the private property which a foreigner bought in order to exploit the local resources. It's disgusting, but it's brilliant.
Avoided by design because they are antithetical to the development of wealth and economic independence of a new economy, particularly in the industrial sense. Protectionism created the wealthy countries, now forcing free market policies on so-called developing nations. Ha Junchang's Kicking Away the Ladder is the greatest intro book on the topic, in my opinion.
Please read it. It's very good.
A closer look at these rankings reveals some interesting patterns as well, if you quickly consider who the US's most important allies and most threatening adversaries are, quote-unquote. The list starts to look a little, let's say, strange. The most obvious thing anyone can notice is that many of these top-performing countries are US allies, enjoying robust relationships.
Fucking Estonia, number 8, is legendary.
With the United States, economic cooperation, defense agreements, and shared so-called liberal values, which aren't worth the paper they're written on, see the current Stein events. For instance, Norway ranks highly in environmental performance, with strong policies on renewable energy and conservation, yet it's also a significant producer of oil and gas, contributing to global carbon emissions. Denmark, Finland, and Switzerland excel in environmental sustainability, investing heavily in wind energy and green technologies, but likewise benefit from global supply chains that involve extremely exploitative practices in the global south, such as cobalt mining, huge amounts of CO2 emissions, human rights violations, the list goes on and on. The second most obvious observation is that countries consistently at the bottom of these indices.
Like, it's funny, on these indexes, you're extremely fucked if you, I don't know, use the police force to beat the shit out of your domestic citizenry, of course, except if you're in the United States. But then if your private enterprises abroad use like fucking death squads, it doesn't count in the way they calculate the freedom index. It's almost as if none of this makes sense, just like the title of the fucking video.
Like Venezuela, Syria, Sudan, Afghanistan are considered US adversaries and or are located in areas of the globe made unstable for geopolitical ends, usually by the US or some other global north country. For instance, the Democratic Republic of the Congo is rich in minerals essential for electronics, such as cobalt. These resources aren't owned by the Congolese people, but instead foreign, usually global north conglomerates. These resources are extracted and processed under extremely harsh conditions, often involving child labor, slave labor, and other unpleasantries. The profit of these ventures flows to the global north, leaving the local communities unindustrialized, impoverished, their environment destroyed, and their health severely compromised. Now, who was it that overthrew Lumumba again? Sudan's oil wealth has also been a focal point of exploitation, where oil companies have raked in huge profits by taking advantage of the series of ongoing conflicts fed by American and other foreign policy interests. Venezuela, which has some of the largest oil reserves in the world, suffers from economic turmoil and environmental degradation due in large part to the US and other global North US allies refusing to recognize Venezuela's right to owning its own resources. Even prior, the Venezuelan oil industry, mismanaged and exploited by international interests, has led to oil spills, deforestation, and significant pollution. The narrative is similar in Nigeria, where the Niger Delta has been severely impacted by oil extraction activities of companies such as Shell and Chevron. The resultant oil spills and gas flaring have destroyed the livelihoods of local farmers and fishermen, causing long-term health problems and environmental damage. All of this exploitation, environmental damage, and disregard for the lives of the people producing most of the world's wealth is on a scale never before seen. I made a proper video on this here, but a rough overview. For example, the value of minerals extracted from African countries and used in the global electronics industry runs in the hundreds of billions of dollars annually. In 2017 alone, $203 billion was taken from Africa, either directly through corporations repatriating profits or by illegally moving money out of the continent. That's just Africa, though. The global north appropriated $2.2 trillion from the south in 2015, and over the period from 1960 to 2018, the drain from the south totaled $62 trillion, or $152 trillion when accounting for lost growth. The human mind is not capable of fully comprehending the enormous size of these numbers, but it's safe to say that the global south is rich, very rich, as colonialism, neocolonialism, and imperialism doesn't go to poor countries, cue the old Parenti adage.
Yeah, these countries classic. Are not underdeveloped, they're overexploited.
To add insult to injury, the top 10% of global carbon emitters generate almost half of all greenhouse gas emissions, the consequences of which are most devastatingly felt by the people of the global south, who are not equipped to sufficiently deal with those issues in addition to the regular business of staying alive day to day. Okay, so after looking at all this data and analysis, what can we say? The TLDR version is that while countries in the global north generally perform well in indices measuring quality of life, economic stability, and environmental sustainability, they are also complicit in global environmental degradation and exploitation, but they just happen to offset it onto the global south. It is the global south that maintains all that quality of life and economic stability, while the global north greenwashes the rest away. The reason the global north performs well in these indices is because of the systematic impoverishment, which again subsidizes the so-called good performance of the imperial core. The sheer scale of wealth transfer should be considered one of the worst crimes in human history, given the incalculable suffering it's caused thus far. A better system is possible. What is sorely missing from all these fancy indices is this type of analysis which investigates the cause of all the things these indices find on the ground. Without that analysis, these indices are...
Yeah, and that analysis would happen if it was not for, what is Yugavni going to say? The profit motive. When the profit motive injects itself, even in academia, just the way it does into absolutely everything, as we've covered on this beautiful day, then it will serve what? It will serve the very capital which uplifts it.
Nothing but a flurry of data with little impact used to justify either neoliberal policy or the salaries of people working for NGOs in the global north. That's all for this time. If you enjoy what I do, then please consider supporting me on Patreon. It really does help.
Support Takim Chan, subscribe, and get the World of Tanks thing. Through his link, please. Through his link. And with that, my beautiful ladies, gentlemen, and MBs, we are bringing today's lovely, lovely show to a relatively early close because this boy has to quickly record and finish the script because my editors are waiting to receive it, and I do not want to be a quote-unquote piece of shit. For all of those of you who have been here, please do check out the Discord channel. Thank you very much, and my Instagram account, Yugopnik on Instagram, Discord, right, exclamation point, Discord, and you will join a 4,000 heavy community. I really hope, love you too. Such nice words in chat. I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you maybe even learned a little bit. I, for one, have. We covered very interesting stuff. This is one of my favorite streams ever. Thank you to all the subscribers. Genuinely would not be possible without you. Maybe next time I will see you actually on this. The counter is glitched. We're at 940 subs. We will. I will see you on Sunday. Sunday. Again, thanks to the subs. If you're currently here and you still haven't clicked the follow button, it costs you absolutely nothing to do so, baby, or I will hit you with this big stick. And no, I'm not talking about my dick because that's not a big stick. Okay, why am I even saying this? Jesus Christ, man. I'm never becoming a president, am I? What else? You go ready for the Elden Ring DLC? No, I actually have to go and write and record. What else? Thank you very much to my mods, without whom I would never be able to do this. Seriously, bow down, genuinely. Thank you so much. Now, as always, once a week, let's go raid the Big Daddy over on. Did he start streaming? I think he started streaming. Yeah, let's go send him some people. Now it's actually going to feel like we're sending on a lot of people. Good old, only good Turk in the world, Hassan Nabi. While you're raiding, obviously use the emotes. This channel is followers for everyone. Yep. You use the emotes, and also call him the only good Turk if you want to really push his buttons. But yeah, thank you very much for coming today, for joining me. I will see you on Sunday. Yeah, I think you will remember. Sunday. See you on Sunday. Love you, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for all the kind words. I'll swipe up in chat later and check them out. Much love. Stay safe. And remember, the empire is dying. Bye-bye.